Ooh, 27 Club.
Right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP can't nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP can't nothing, we on fellowship. Florida Lee on my top, this a Saints hat. This the third can't be been in here, J-Cat. Nigga tryna steal the song, yeah, I hate that. But I ain't make the rules, I can't change that. New bottle, new wine, yeah, I can't crack. Look, flag on the plate, they grabbing face masks. Niggas always saving hoes when your cake back. The only killer that you know without no face tag. Hell yeah, my bitch bad, my verse 31, yeah. This is not a drill, I be 30'd up, yeah. About to crack the sky, you better hurry up. It's all bad when you see us hang that jersey up. It's mad big, I got the blick with my cover on. He a fan.
Yeah, I got his cover blown.
Look, I'm really outside without no scully on. It's one West, bitch, I'm on what my brother's on. He got ranked, then he left, he brought another O. I got the plate, we about to take another zone. They was sleeping on the team, now they comatose. Left his brother out to dry, I guess he wanna fall. Put the oil on his head, that's another song. I try to tell him we apart, don't do this shit at home. She and him be left her man, she a 3 or 4. He try to justify that shit, he broke the penal code. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK and nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hillstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK and nothing, we on fellowship. Gotta watch these niggas, they be cointil. LeBron ain't never killed nobody, but I know he will. It's on me, yeah, where I go, yeah, that's the holy seal. My niggas itching when it's up, you better not touch a chair. Ooh, I'm with the extra, that's on the back. He ain't loyal to his brothers, how you follow that? She either working with her hands or she up her bag. Broke bitches, yeah, they done that give me a heart attack. You see the banner, but my head, I'm a part of that. These niggas coward pussies, we don't want no puss in that. They let our warrior out of prison, he ain't going back. And don't be speaking on the truth, cause we with all of that. Before they started dissing, they was fans first. You will never catch me digging in no man purse. Really put my brick in, that's why my hands hurt. They don't be speaking bullshit that make my head hurt. Look, I done burn my fingers from the Michael.
Okay. Homie, I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Shout out to the green bubbles. I'm back by the winter bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all sooner like a lymph node, talking out the side of your neck. Get you a slip throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got a million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door. We about to demo the building. Straight cats all in these groups. I wonder who ya, shoot ya, off your pulpit, hallelujah. Hey, the brother, this white boy on TikTok got mad because I called him a white boy, even though he's a white boy. Words spreading around about me. None of it rumors, all truth. Very big facts, very large calibers on very small gaps. Combat pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka, equipped with the rim rocker. We don't really got beat. Yaramak with a bench catcher. The best rhymer, Sin Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm big jumper. Quarter take a gas. Hey, on TikTok, when y'all talk while the music is playing, I can't hear you, niggas. Just mute your mic till the song is over. Look, no pink and armor. Remain calm through our pain and bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring karma. Took all pressure, blind and make. If you don't mute your mic, I'ma just boot you. I'm playing music, man. Shut the fuck up. Make sure you show respect. Homie, I was one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start. Homie, I was one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market. Don't make me start it. Be the pocket. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West about put me up in a starship. About to find friendly skies in this bitch. Stick the truth on the corner.
Might lie a little bit.
I'm a stand up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, know it up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes and anything. Cause I done trouble stack for shit that can't fit me. Had friends on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith and y'all know where to pink it. Both ball heads, my grain a $1.50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code for the street though. Cause them niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a amino. And a nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you won't need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees with a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater,
Hey, nigga, if you don't mute your mic, I'm going to just block you, and then we'll never hear what you got to say. So you got 5 seconds to mute your mic. I'll just block you. And I don't know you, and I don't care about you. So either mute your mic, or I'm going to block you, and then you'll never be on this live again. Mute. Oh, I don't even know what you're saying. I can't even hear you. One west, one west, one west, one west. Now I just block them. Let me bring that part back. Hold on.
Yeah, I been one West bred,
One west vetted.
one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain,
One West
in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood. Don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That UPK music. UPK music is the best music. That's all I'm going to tell you. ISUBK got the best music, hands down. Welcome to another edition of the Car Chronicles. I'm your host with the most, Captain Tazaryach of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. He's the HNIC on the planet Earth. There's nobody that outranks him on the planet Earth, period. So when it comes to Commander General Yohana, there's nobody after him. I'm sorry. I don't care who it is. Nobody outranks him, period. That's the leader, period. Shout out to the people that have joined me on TikTok and YouTube. Y'all know how the rules go. I'm going to give y'all the subject that I have. But of course, if you have a question off the subject, you can call in with your question off subject. I will take any question that you do have. The only thing that I ask is if you're on TikTok, I have a one mic policy. Kawak, I didn't need you to tell me what he said. I didn't need nobody to text me what he said. Who gives? He's a nobody. So the only thing I ask is if you come on the stage, I have a one mic policy. If you come on YouTube, just mute your mic. I do calls one at a time, and then we go from there. All right. So there is a brother, I don't know if it's a brother or not, said Yeshua on TikTok. You was here first. You actually patiently waited while I played the songs, which I greatly appreciate. So what's your question or comment?
Yeah, I'm really just here, to kind of roll with the flow. I saw a couple of your debates on YouTube, and most of mainstream Christianity.
You gotta mute your mic, Jeffrey. Good.
Most of mainstream Christianity disagrees with some of the stuff that you say, but I was agreeing with a good amount of it. I don't know where we disagree yet, but
what's your ethnicity?
I am Caucasian.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's okay that you're listening. But if you're actually listening to me, and this doesn't stop the conversation, I always say this for my audience to you. It's, I can't stop nobody from listening, but of course my message isn't for Caucasians, Africans, Chinese. My message is for just my people, the children of Israel. But there are sometimes people that can actually listen and discern. Even I can listen to Muslims and Christians and atheists, and I can make an opinion and say who's correct based on what I'm hearing. So there's nothing wrong with you saying that I'm correct, because Christians don't know the Bible. There's not one thing that Christians know correctly about the Bible, what they teach. I'll actually be debating a fellow white brother of yours Jay Dyer this Friday on the No Fugazi podcast. I'll be debating him. And the subject, I think he's an Orthodox Christian. So we'll be going over what they believe from an Orthodox perspective, and then we'll see. So if you're going with the floor, I'm assuming you don't have a question currently, right?
Yeah, I was just hoping to engage in the conversation, maybe learn, maybe see if there's a disagreement.
Got you. Well, depending on what the conversation is. So if it's a black conversation, like when I talk about relationships, that's not really for you. If it's a biblical conversation, you're definitely a good prop, because black people, for some reason, still think white people are superior when it comes to the Bible. So, of course, you are a great prop for it. So I'm going to go to the phone calls. I'm going to come right back. So I'm going to come to you, Jeffrey. That's another white guy. He hates when I call him white, but he's white by his father. But I'll come to you in a second. Let me just get the phone call. 917. Y'all know I'm the funniest man in all Israel, just FYI. 917 on the phones. What's up, man? Come on, 917. Caller, hold on. Oh, damn, I hung up on both of them by mistake. Hold on, let me get them back. Let me get them back on the phone. Hold on 1 second. Damn, I didn't mean to hang up on them. I do apologize. Sometimes it happens with my phones when I'm trying to connect the calls. Here we go. All right, he called back. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get the other person back. I appreciate y'all patience. While y'all waiting, if y'all can go ahead and heart the hell out of the video, I'd be greatly appreciated. All right, hold on, brother. Hold on a second, brother. All right, 917-995. If y'all can heart the video so the likes can get up, if y'all can heart the video on YouTube, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hey, Maurice, you gotta mute your phone. Hey, Maurice, you gotta mute your phone. Got a horrible reverb.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, just mute. Yeah, just
I don't know how to do it though.
On your phone, you should be able to push a mute button on your phone. And then once you push that mute button, I won't hear your background. You'll still be able to hear me, but I won't hear your background. All right, 917-995. What's your question or comment?
What's up, Cap? How you doing today?
I'm good to go.
All right, brother. Yeah, I got 2 quick questions, if you will.
Okay.
As far as birthdays go, right? Besides the example of Herod's birthday and the example of the Pharaoh's birthday, I'm trying to find some verses that show that we're not supposed to celebrate birthdays.
Yeah, the book of Job, when all the sons celebrated, when they celebrated their day, the Lord unalived them.
Right.
Yeah, the Lord unalived them.
I got that.
Yeah, the Lord punished them for
All right.
that. And Herod. Well, how many damn examples you need?
You know what it is?
No, I don't.
Necessarily. No, okay, I'm rhetorical. It's not necessarily for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I get the Job. I got Ecclesiastes 7:1. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the example of Pharaoh and Herod and all of that.
And what's the key thing about Pharaoh and thing about them?
The key thing?
Yes.
Well, I know with the example of what happened on both of their birthdays.
No, that's not the key thing. The key thing is that those are heathens. You don't see no Israelite. Okay. You don't see no Israelite celebrating their. That's all you need.
Right.
The 1 second. The verse in Job, when you go to Job 1, when you go to Job, I'm just for a caller that asks. Job
4
1
and 5, I think.
Yeah, when you go to Job 1,
4 or 5.
Yeah, start at verse 4 and 5. You'll see that they celebrated each one their day and called for their sisters to eat. That ain't for you, man. You keep saying right. I ain't talking to you.
My bad.
Somebody asked me for the chapter and verse online, so I'm giving them the chapter and verse. So you don't see no Israelites celebrating it. You only see heathens celebrating it. And the one time that you see them celebrating their day, you see Job made a sacrifice to the Lord because he knew that they sinned. So those are the examples that that's all you need. You don't need nothing else other than that.
All right. Well, you know what it is? Just that some people, and most people should know that the Bible doesn't always explicitly say certain things you gotta be able to read between the lines and read some of the examples.
So read between the
some
line that
people
they
just don't get
celebrate.
that.
Yeah, read between the line that they celebrated their day and got punished for it.
Right. All right, got that. Next question, real quick, is where is it? Revelation. Let's go. Revelations 1:6.
Right.
Is God in that verse Christ?
Revelations 1:6, and have made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever. So when it says made us priests unto God and his Father, the God and his Father are in conjunction together. When it says it's not separate.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
together. It's like chose Jacob, have mercy on Jacob, yet choose Israel. Those are both the same. Right.
All right. Since that was a quick one, let me squeeze one more in. Genesis 9:3.
Genesis 9:3 says, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all these things, right? What about it?
Right. Now, when it says everything shall be meat for you, meat meaning food, right?
That's correct.
So, and I know that, I know there's unclean and clean foods. I know Noah was told about unclean and clean foods,
right.
But since this is before Noah,
this is not before Noah. This is to Noah. Are you there, brother?
Okay. Yes, I am.
So if I say you can eat, if I said to you, you can eat anything you want. Everything you want is meat for you. Because you already know what's clean and unclean. You know I'm not talking about pig or swine.
Okay.
But the point of this is not about clean and unclean animals. The point is in verse 4. So when you got to read 3 and 4 together. So when it says every moving living thing shall be meat for you, even as the green herb, verse 4. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, you shall not eat. So the point ain't about clean and unclean. The point is you can't eat food with blood in it. Hey, Nagai, mute your mic, dude. Nagai, mute your mic. So that's the point of that. The point has nothing to do with clean and unclean. The point is we can't eat meat with blood. That's the point of that verse. That's the point of the conversation.
Okay. Man, all them people that like to eat their meat rare and shit, that's crazy.
Right. That's what it's talking about. That rare meat, you can't eat rare. Yeah, that's what that's talking about.
All right.
All right?
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No sweat. All right. One more caller on the line, then I'm going to come to TikTok. Maurice, you there? You can unmute your mic now, brother.
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's up, man? You got a question?
Well, I actually want to know, how can I, how did that dialogue and having a dialogue with you brothers, man, work? Like between you and God Logic or something like that. Like, how did that work? Like, do I need to have a good platform already?
You're saying, okay, just so I understand, are you saying you want to have a debate with somebody?
I mean, well, really dialogue, because I listen to you and God Logic a lot of times, man, and and it just, and I feel like I can really engage with you brothers. You know what I mean? Just trying to dialogue.
Wait, hold on. Bezos just called the TikTok people hellhounds. I just want y'all to know that TikTok, because y'all on TikTok are insane. But I don't be excited to talk to him. I'm just running a live stream on both sides, Bezos. That's all I'm doing. But TikTok is crazy. If you want to have a dialogue with anybody, you just got to reach out to them, and then they'll decide if they'll talk to you or not. I know I decide based on the spirit. So it ain't, sometimes it's about the gain as well, because that's spiritual also. That's why I do these lives. So these lives are for anybody that they can call in, ask their questions. But if you want me to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation, it just has to benefit what I do. Now, God Logic, you gotta ask God Logic himself. I can't speak for him. He's a man by himself.
Okay, right. I just ain't know how all that worked, man, because I don't have no contact information for him. And I'm
I'm not
surprised I
about,
got in contact
yeah.
with you here.
Yeah. I mean, just hop on this live stream like you hopped on this one and ask him.
Oh, okay. Does it cost? I got to pay you for a dialogue? How does it?
Listen, do you got to pay me?
Yeah, for a dialogue.
I mean, we dialoguing right now, nigga. What you want to talk about, man?
No, because you got other people on the line, man. I don't want to hold them up. That's why I ain't really want to hold it. I just want to, know how the thing works. Cause I'm new to all this. I got me a channel, a YouTube channel, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but my bad if I interrupt y'all, brother. I just
you ain't interrupting. No, you're not interrupting at all. You can pay. What that amount is, I couldn't really tell you what that amount is. But like I said, I do these live streams so that I could talk to everybody. So that's the way it just happened to work out. I used to do them by myself, just talking, and then I started making them interactive. So I make them interactive so you can have the dialogue. So you could have asked whatever question you wanted to right now, and then I'll tell you when it stops. So I usually, like you see the last brother, he asked 3 questions. Because they were quick, he was able to get all his questions. So it just depends on how long it goes. Like you wasted about 4 minutes right now, but you could have just asked your question that you wanted to right now. So I'm gonna ask you again, what question do you have that you want to ask?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but because I didn't have any particular question right now. I'm gonna have to catch on the next one, but I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, when I go live tomorrow, you can have your question ready and then ask your question in. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, too.
All right. Now on to the Hellhounds. To the TikTok audience, Bezos has renamed y'all to the Hellhounds. So to my YouTube, they're called the Shotgunners. That's the chat. It's called the Shotgunners. So y'all have been aptly dubbed the Hellhounds. So the next person up is Jeffrey. What's up, Jeff?
Free, and you remember my name, and Bezo, I want to say something to you. You're the reason why this organization doesn't prevail, because you're a Judas. You tried to ban me.
Yep, and you're the reason why you ain't talking no more. Next person is Scoop. What's up, Scoop? See how easy you can't listen. One person you can't disrespect is Bezos. You can't come on the stage disrespecting Bezos. That ain't gonna help you. It's not like how's that gonna benefit you?
Real talk, Cap. Real talk, Cap.
What's up, Scoop? You got a question or comment? And that's the other part. Bezos didn't even do nothing. Like what the? That's why she's right by calling y'all the Hellhounds. Soon as he got it, and Bezos, that's why the organization ain't gonna do nothing. That's a whole white man. I don't expect the white man to say we're gonna be successful. Hey, Scoop, man, you got a teacup, man. I'm gonna have to go to the next person. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to get off that teacup. 1.
Cap. Hey, I was waiting because you was doing your talking, so I was just reading something. But what I was going to say, Cap, can you break down interpretation of the prophecy, the historical part as far as our ancestry, and then the history of us being Israelites? That's my first question.
Okay, that sounds like a lot. You want me to break down
Can you break down prophecy in the Bible for your interpretation? Let's start with that.
Well, I don't have an interpretation of the Bible, but you're saying break down the prophecy of us being Israelites?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Is that a good way to put it?
Yes. So the way we break it down is we use a couple of points of scripture. If we want to identify, like the N-word, for example, you know how we are commonly called the N-word in America. So that N-word has an origin. The N-word is a Latin word which means black. So one of the things we'll do is we'll go to black people and say, you see how they call us the N-word? Well, in the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1, they call Barnabas and Simeon the N-word. And while they calling it N-word, it wasn't a derogatory term back then. They're just calling them black. So the same way they call them black, they're calling you black, which goes into Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's verse 37. So 28 and 37, I believe it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations whither the Lord shall send thee. So that N-word is something synonymous with us being called a proverb and a byword, meaning we wouldn't be called by our own name. So whether it's the N-word, spear chucker, porch monkey, the coon word, Afro-American, African-American is a byword. When you go to Jeremiah 17:4, when it says we will be cut off from our inheritance, We don't have an inheritance. Isaiah 1:3, when it says the ox knoweth his owner and the donkey his master's crib, but my children of Israel don't consider who knows them. We're the only people that don't have an identity. When you go to the transatlantic slave trade and read Deuteronomy 28:68, when it says we shall go to Egypt. I'm gonna start this live stream over because it just restricted me. So I'm about to, should I end the live stream or should I just leave it as
No,
is?
keep talking, Cap.
Man, shut up, man. Shut up, man. So I'm being funny. In Deuteronomy 28:68, when it talks about, but I don't like that. Okay, it went back green. No, see, it said your live contains themes of some hate. Let me see if it keeps that way, because I don't like when my live is kind of restricted. But so I might start it over. If I start it over, y'all gonna join back?
Can I get back my slot, Cap?
Yeah, you would be the first person.
Okay, Cap.
All right, so all right, no sweat. I'm literally gonna take 5 seconds. I'm gonna end it and start it back over. I appreciate it. All right. Man, TikTok's so damn corny, man. Now I gotta restart the live. You gotta watch what man. I'm gonna tell y'all, if the next band I get on TikTok, I'm gonna either use, I wish Rumble, can you go live on Rumble from your phone? Because if you can go live on Rumble, it's either gonna be Rumble or Switch. Was it Switch or Titch or what? It's either Rumble or Switch or Titch or something like that. I'm gonna go on there. It's either Rumble or Switch or Titch. Which one is it? So if TikTok bans me again, I'm either going live on Rumble, Twitch. Yeah, I'm going live on Rumble or Twitch if they ban me again. I appreciate, man. Y'all brothers is fire. Them brothers came right back. I'm waiting for the brother that I told will let jump back on and get his order. So if y'all could begin hearting the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. More likes attract viewers is what they say. Let me share this to my story so people could actually join. I'm trying to hit the share. Can I share it? I'm going to add you on Rumble. Yeah, I already have a Rumble account. There we go. Let me add to my story. I'm just trying to share this to my... Gee, Monetti, man. Use Kick. Yeah, I'm going to use one of them if they hop on there. So the brother ain't joined yet. So what I'm going to do, since the brother didn't join yet, I'm going to go to Nick at the top. NIK.
Yeah, it's Nick, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, brother? You got a question or comment? And before you go to the what they call them again? What did Bezos call them again? The hounds. What did Bezos? What's the name you called them again? I'm trying to scroll. The hellhounds. Now, I want to say to my YouTube audience, y'all talk about the hellhounds, but the hellhounds are on the live. The YouTube callers are not calling into the show, so I got to talk to the hellhounds. All right. So, Nick, what's your question or comment? Oh, wait. Nick, Scoop hopped in, so I got to go back to Scoop. So, Scoop, appreciate it, Nick. So, what I was going over last was Deuteronomy 28:68 is another scripture when it talks about us coming over here in the transatlantic slave trade. That's another scripture that we use. Then we start going into the description of Christ. Then we can go historical to outside information of the land of Judah being in the middle of Africa, us knowing that we were the Jews, the history of Israel waking up, like black people waking up to who they are, started happening in the 1800s and, up until now. So that's what we use prophetically to do.
And Cap, can you break down your perspective of Matthew 21 when they talk about the true and false disciples?
Matthew's 21.
Matthew, yep.
What verses?
Matthew 7. It's Matthew chapter 7, verse 21.
Oh, Matthew 7:21. Let me see. Matthew 7:21 says, it says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord. Now that's a little different because an Israelite could do that too. So that's a little different. So like an Israelite could be like Christians. You got black people that are Christians that think they casting out devils in the Lord's name. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't use that for an identifying marker for Israelites because you was being specific to a prophecy of us waking up or what scriptures we would use. So I wouldn't use those. I would use them for false prophets. I would use them for other things.
Okay.
Crystal, what you mean by not all fake Israelites in the chat? She said, guess not all fake
Hey,
Israelites.
man, can you break down what an Israelite is for the people who don't really know and who are not informed? That's the last question.
I was just about to say.
And also
So an
the
Israelite,
laws,
good. You say what?
As far as the laws of what Israelites supposed to live, like, and what defines a black Hebrew Israelite?
Well, nothing defines a black Hebrew Israelite. Nothing. Because black Hebrew Israelite was a derogatory term created by the small hats to vilify us. Even the term Hebrew Israelite is not in the Bible. The term Israelite in the Bible and Hebrew. So we're called Hebrew separately. So you'll see Paul say a Hebrew of Hebrews. You'll see us say Israelites. But the term Hebrew Israelite is not in the Bible. But the reason why we use Hebrew Israelite is almost saying like a Spanish Mexican or saying like Spanish Puerto Rican. You're saying Spanish because that's the language that they speak, Mexican because that's the ethnicity that they are. The reason why we don't have to use the term Hebrew Israelite is because we're the only ones that carry that language. The Ishmaelites don't carry the Hebrew language. Esau doesn't carry the Hebrew language. Nobody carries the Hebrew language except us. So we don't really have to use the term Hebrew Israelite. Hey, can you mute your mic, 917? Can you mute your mic for me, please? So, but I understand why we say Hebrew Israelite, but biblically speaking, we don't have to use that term. We're just Israelites. So for those that don't know, black people are the Israelites biblically. And Hispanics or Latinos are the Israelites biblically. Native Indians. Now, what I'm talking about is those of us in North, Central, and South America. You also have Israelites in Africa. You have Israelites in Europe. You have Israelites in Australia, in Asia, scattered to the four corners of the earth, so we're everywhere. When people see the 12 tribe chart that we have, that's, hey, brother, if you can't mute your mic, I might have to hang up on you because I'm getting a loud reverb. Just mute me. Just press the mute button until it's your... I'm going to just hang. He'll learn. So when we say Israelite, when y'all see that 12 tribe chart, for example, that's only for North, Central, and South America. Like we have a school in Europe. We have brothers in Africa. So we're not saying that that chart is only, that chart dismisses Israelites anywhere else. All right, so I hope I answered your question. I'm gonna go ahead to the
last question. I'm done.
Okay.
What's different between us?
Hey, hold on. No, you said that was the last question before.
Hey, what's different the three Abrahamic religions? And I'm done. The Christians.
There is no Abraham. Okay, that's actually a good question. There is no such thing as Abrahamic faiths. That's something that man. Just think about it. Abraham left his father's house because he didn't want to follow multiple beliefs. And what Christianity, Islam, and Judaism did was conglomerated themselves to make it the Abrahamic faiths. But Abraham didn't follow three faiths. Abraham only followed one faith, and that's obeying the Most High. So you won't see Christianity in the Bible. You won't see Judaism in the Bible. You won't see Islam in the Bible. You'll see being an Israelite in the Bible, and being an Israelite and the law, statutes, and commandments, which we have to keep, is specific to the children of Israel. Christianity goes to everybody. Judaism, everybody. Islam, everybody. The Bible is not for everybody. The Bible is for Israelites. If you're not an Israelite, it's not for you. It's something where if a non-Israelite lives amongst us, if we was ruling, so let's say if the nation of Israel is ruling, we got the land. If a non-Israelite comes into our land, we're going to treat him like one of us, meaning the rules, the laws, everything. We will not mistreat him, except when it comes to certain things that allows us to. Like if we're loaning money, if we're dealing with money, I can charge a non-Israelite interest. I can't charge an Israelite interest. If an animal dieth of itself, I can sell that to the non-Israelite. I can't sell that to the Israelite. But in the judgment of matters, if there's a dispute between an Israelite and a non-Israelite, I judge it righteously. So I hope I answered your question. I'm going to go to the next brother.
All right, Cap, you have a blessed day.
Hey, you too, brother. Love to you too, brother. All right, we're going to go ahead to Nick. What's up, Nick? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, man, I do. I have a couple questions. I hope that's okay. I'm gonna try and make them brief and quick, though, man.
Okay.
I guess the first question to kind of preface it: do you only talk about on these lives history based in the New King James Version of the Bible?
Well, I don't read a New King James Version. I only read the King James Version. So
Okay.
I talk about the Bible. I talk about some history. I talk about relationships. I talk about abuse. I cover, a plethora of subjects.
Okay. So, all right. So then here's my question then. I've been, trying to do as much research as I can on it. Do you speak on the history in Americas?
Yes.
And when I say history, I mean from the 1400s to the 1700s.
Depends on what it is. Can you be specific what you're talking about?
In present day, in present day America.
No, I need you to be specific. Yeah, can you be specific?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Yep, I'll be specific. So I think that I've seen videos about guys that kind of, and then even archaeologists will come over here and talk about it, and a lot of people believe that blacks or Africans were the original residents of the Americas, and we weren't actually brought here in mass the way that we were kind of taught in grade school and whatnot.
Yeah, I disagree. So I haven't seen strong enough history to change my mind on that, because my position is that what they're going to go by basically is probably melanated people that call themselves Seminole Indians, Native Indians, Taino Indians. And so biblically speaking, we've been over here. Hey, Mika, if you could stop saying hubby in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know why you do that. I am definitely removing the comment. If you could please stop putting that in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. Unless you talk about somebody else, if somebody else is your hubby or something like that, if you could stop that, I would greatly appreciate that. So biblically, I could read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, where the Native Indians the Northern Kingdom came over here and lived over here almost 1,000 years before somebody got here. So I can understand why they would say that black people were already over here, but I don't base it off of what they're saying on their history. I base it on the Bible.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so I guess I had a whole diatribe behind, the evidence they presented, and I won't even go that far. So I guess another question was just to keep it on the Bible. Would you be able to give me like a quick breakdown of the differences between the Old Testament and then the King James Version, and maybe all the?
There's no difference. So as far as I know, there's no difference between the Old Testament and the King James Version.
Okay.
If you have something that says there's a difference, I'll gladly listen. But as far
I know historically Ethiopia has one of the longest standing churches, and we knowing that Christianity was founded in Africa, with Ethiopia having one of the oldest texts, do you resonate more with the Old Testament version, or maybe the Roman version of the Bible, which was the King James Version, or do you
I don't look
at they're one and the same?
Yeah, I've never looked at the Ethiopian Bible at all. But from what I've studied and researched as far as the King James, it's not a Roman book. So like when you say New King James, I would agree with you. If you say NIV, if you say like other different versions, I would agree with you. But with the King James, it's just a translation of the Hebrew and Greek. So let's say if there was a discrepancy and we go into the Hebrew and it's not lining up in the King James, then maybe I would see that. But I have yet to see that so far. King James is so intricate, like, and if it's something that they added, you'll see italicized. Like I was battling this Muslim over the 42 and 22 years old of Asa. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
So there's one verse that says that Asa was 42, and then there's another verse that says he was 22. And so I tried to explain to him that the 42 is talking about the age of the reign of it, and the 22 is talking about his actual age. And when you actually look in The Hebrew, excuse me, when you look in the King James and you go to the interlinear of it, the was is italicized, which lets you know they added that to it. It's not in there. So that's how intricate the KJV is. So I don't look at the KJV as tampered with. Somebody would just have to show me that, and so far I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, and I know you got more people to go to, so I'll just end it with this. I've heard things about the Ethiopian Bible as far as and forgive me, I don't have any facts. This is all hearsay based on videos I've seen or people talking about old text and whatnot. But there was some text in the Ethiopian Bible that kind of got lost in translation in the Old Testament, and specifically things like the mission of Jesus at the time. And it was a small change, but a significant one if they based the form of Christianity on it.
Wait, can you back up and say that again?
Yeah, okay. Which part? The missing chapters?
Yes.
So as far as I know, the Ethiopian Bible has 20 additional chapters that weren't included in the Old Testament.
20 additional chapters. 20 additional chapters of what?
Not chapters, books. Excuse me, books.
What book? What books?
I don't know all of. I know one of the major ones. The Book of Enoch was one of the major ones.
Yeah, that's a hard. Yeah, that's a hard. Yeah, that's a horrible book. Go ahead.
And then there was I don't know all of them. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just learning as I go. But that was one of the major ones. And then
right.
But then not only that, but then I guess another thing that changed was in the Ethiopian Bible, according to them, the mission of Jesus at the time was different than what we were led to believe.
And what they say was the mission was.
They said that Jesus's purpose was to show people that God was living within them, and that they didn't need to go through institutions to figure that out. And as far as and then when they broke it down historically, Paul was a Roman citizen who was against what Jesus was trying to do at the time.
But what I'm trying to figure out. Hold on 1 second, caller. Like when you say that, are you saying that King James teach something different?
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean. The King James teaches that same thing. The King James doesn't teach anything different.
But the only reason I say that is because Paul, when he reported back to Rome in order to start all these Christian institutions in Rome,
he never started a Christian institution. Like even Christianity in itself is not in the Bible. There's nowhere in the Bible to teach Christianity. The Bible is written to and for the children of Israel. So the fact that Ethiopians have it and purport it like they have authority, that's garbage. Like Ethiopians are not the authority. The Bible says only an Israelite can be a prophet, not a non-Israelite. So when they say that it teaches the God within you or having God in you, being one with God, that's what the Bible teaches.
Okay, because the only reason I say it is because and obviously this is historical rhetoric, this is just, and history changes over time, so people will give their version of it. But from what I've read is that Paul was brought over. He was a Rome citizen, and during that time they had only given that to about 3 or 4% of the population in that area. So he had wealth, and he was somewhat of an informant. He was sent to seek out Jesus. Paul.
But that contradicts the Bible, because when we read the book of Acts and when we read Peter's, they verify Paul. And Paul was an Israelite who only taught that it was for Israelites.
I'm not saying that he wasn't.
Then you got to help me. Wait, you just got to make it clear. What are you? So here's what I believe you're trying to say. What you're trying to say is that the Ethiopian Bible should have authority over the King James Bible because the Ethiopian Bible teaches the truth about Christ and the King James Bible teaches a falsehood about Christ. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm not taking a stance.
I'm not saying you're taking. Listen, brother. I'm not saying you're taking a stance. I say, here's what I believe you're trying to say. Is that what you're trying to say?
that's not what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
so
What I'm
what are
trying
you
to say is
trying?
this.
Okay, so going forward, what I want you to do is just tell me what exactly you're trying to say. That's what I'm asking you.
What I'm trying to say exactly is this: is that there was a significant amount of changes between the two texts.
So do you know that the
one is
oldest
older
record,
than the other.
of the Garmenia Gospels, right, from Ethiopia, is 3rd or 4th century?
Okay, right.
They date from 330 to 650 AD. But the New Testament, the King James translates from the records that they have from the 1st century.
Okay.
So the Ethiopian is garbage. You can't use this age per se when it's 330 AD. The early Ethiopian tradition says Christianity was formally established in the 4th century.
Okay.
So 4th century would be 300, around 300. I think it's 330 AD. But we can see the apostles, we can see the New Testament is already in circulation by that time.
Yeah.
So if somebody is going to tell me that Ethiopia has superiority over the King James Bible, it's garbage to me, number one. And you can't tell me that the Ethiopian Bible is teaching something that the King James is not teaching. You're going to have to show me where the King James translation is teaching something different than the original Greek and Hebrew manuscripts. So can you show that?
You know what? Let me get some evidence. I'll come back. I'll let you know the sources I found, because I don't want to just be talking on my ass.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like so far. And I don't mean that necessarily in a disrespectful way, but when I asked you to show me where the King James Bible is teaching something contrary than what the Hebrew and Greek says, you have not shown me that yet. So an example of that would be like Paul said Jesus was God, and then show me a verse where he's saying Jesus is God. Paul said, or the Bible, I'll say the Bible. The New Testament says Jesus was born without a father, or the New Testament says the Bible is for everybody. You would have to show me something that the King James says in the translation that the origin does not say. If you can find that, I'll be live for probably another hour or so. So if you can find that, I'll gladly hear it.
Yeah, let me get it. Let me hop off. I'll let you, get another space up here. I'll get it and I'll shoot it over to you.
No sweat, appreciate it. All right. I'm gonna go to my TikTok brothers. I'm gonna just go to and sisters. I'm gonna just go to the phone lines and I'm gonna come right back to y'all again while y'all on the live. We got 140 people here. Welcome to TikTok. I appreciate y'all being here. If y'all could share it on your stories, if you could share it on your TikTok, it helps the algorithm. We get more people. Whatever question you have, my lives are set for auto accept. So you can join automatically. You don't need me to bring you up. You can come on here gladly. I just have a 1 mic policy to the hellhounds. If you can abide by that rules, I appreciate it greatly. To my YouTube, we got 347 people here. If we can get more than 212 likes, I would greatly appreciate it. All right. And shout out to the trolls today. I see I got a lot of, I was going to say dumbass trolls, but I'm trying to be nice. I see I got a lot of dumbass trolls on my YouTube today. Shout out to you all. As long as you're not talking about nobody's mama or kids, we good to go. So on the phone line, I have 917-574.
Yes, shalom.
Shalom, sis. You got a question or comment?
Shalom. Yeah, I have an important question. My question is, I've known for a very long time that I am the Israelite seed. The thing is, I have a son, and I want him to join the ISUPK camp. He's 7 years old, and even if I don't get to join, how can he attend the camp?
When you say why you don't get to join, what does that mean?
I don't know. It seems like every time before I had kids, I got invited to the ISUPK. I'm not sure, but One West. And when I went, I wasn't received very well. They left me outside for like 8 hours, and they didn't let me in.
Okay, where did you go?
The one on Madison Avenue, I think it is. They invited me. They told me to come.
Sis, slow down a second. That's not ISUPK, and that's not One West. That's another. That's what we call a fake Israelite group. That's a group that they believe a man is the Holy Spirit. So you went to the wrong place. Our school is in Harlem. Yeah, our school is 2279 3rd Ave, Harlem, New York. If you text me on this same phone number, I'll send you the address and times, and you and your son can come to class.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Because you know, we in these last days. Like I said, I've always been in the truth since 2011. I came to the truth, but I haven't been like I study like online, look at stuff, but we don't know how to do like all the high holy days and stuff.
Listen,
so I don't want my son to be lacking like that.
Right. Yeah. Well, you called the right place. All right. You called the right place.
Okay.
Text this number. I'll text you back the address, and I'll give you the schedule for when classes start. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Blessings. Shalom.
Sis.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Next caller, Charles. What's going on, Charles?
What's going on, Brother Cap?
I'm good to go. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good.
What's your question?
All these topics, it's really a comment, Cap. All of us, most of us have children. When they get presents or whatever, they have a remote, it's a certain battery that goes into it, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
If it says in the Bible who it's for and what it's for,
right?
I don't understand what everybody else is talking about. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. What doesn't make sense? That they think it's for everybody?
Yes, Cap. And I want you to elaborate on that.
The thing about it is, just think about this too. You can add this too. You can add the description of the Israelites doesn't match the people that say they're Israelites. The description of Christ, who also was an Israelite, doesn't match the description. So then you got to add that too. It's like, well, damn, why do we believe it? There's a propaganda that it has existed. Take it off of the Bible, for example. 9/11, when the towers fell, they believed that it was the Muslims they flew the tower in. And there's been so many videos that says it was an inside job. But the propaganda to this day, they blame Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. So the propaganda is just outweighing the source. It's almost like a machine. So in Ephesians, the 6th chapter is a perfect way to understand why. So when you read Ephesians, the 6th chapter, let me get it for you. Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So that spiritual wickedness has been allowed to proliferate for so long that people just don't want to believe the truth because the lie is so much better. When you start believing the truth, like it always even amazed me that when you say for those of us, we be in the world and we be struggling, and we know we shouldn't be getting high, we know we shouldn't be sleeping with the people we sleeping with, we know we shouldn't be living the lifestyle we live in, and then we come to the truth, and then as you start finding out all the things that will actually fix your life, you start realizing, man, I loved the evil. And the evil becomes better than the good to some people. And so they would rather live the lie to purport the lifestyle that they want to live. So that plays a part too. So yes, I know, like every Christian knows in the Bible, you're not supposed to eat pork. I've yet to meet a Christian that does not know you're not supposed to eat pork, but they will tell you that's in the old. And even when you go into the Bible and break down, Christ was talking about washing hands. Paul is talking about them that know the truth. They will fight you for it because they have to believe that Jesus said they can eat it so that they can justify it. So because there's a system, a spirituality that allows them to appear to be godlike and not be godlike, they'll accept that. That's why the Christian church is packed, because they can go in there and then it's about the performance. Imagine going to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge class, and you go in there and you're learning and you're studying and you're convicting yourself. Like, it's cool when we have the debates, right? When y'all see the debates and we debating this person and debating that person and making this person look stupid and that person look stupid, all of that looks good. But when you come to class, class is where you get cut. Class is where you get convicted. And you don't want to go to a place where you find out you can't be jealous because you share your man. And the crazy part is, in the world, you know how women share their man in the world? Women share their man in the world by arguing with their man and listening to their man lie about their other women. That's their world. And they're content with sharing their man as long as their man lies about the other women. I wasn't out. I was with the fellas. I was at the club. I was at the gym. Now, she knows that he's like, hey, dude, you got to mute your mic, man. She knows that he's lying. But the fact that he will fight and lie, that is love to her. He loved me so much, he'll lie to me. So I'd rather live the lie than fail the class and find out. But bitter and sorrow is a woman that's jealous woman. Then you'll find out the reason that you have so much sorrow, the reason why you have so much anger, the reason why you have so much pain is not that you're sharing your man. It's that your man actually tells you the truth. And you should just accept the truth that you're a woman that has no, like, you got to accept that you're a woman that really don't have a problem sharing your man. You really don't. You just a woman that has to accept the truth of it. Once you accept the truth of it, you free. For the brothers that come in there, you can't sleep with them whores. Excuse me, you can't sleep with them 304s. I'm on TikTok. Can someone put F1s in the chat? We love TikTok shop. I apologize, TikTok, for using that word. And you start finding out you can't sleep with a woman and throw her away. You got to keep that woman. And you come in here and you know what you find out? You hate the conviction of all the women that you lied to. So that's what it really becomes in Christianity. In Christianity, you could go up in that church, hoot and holler, sing that song or dance, had a zeal. Listen, that same feeling, you know how people say, I felt the Holy Spirit when I was in the church? It's because they got chills in their spine. When Charlie May sang that song, it was the glory of God. When they do that, oh, they got the chills all up in their spine. That same chill you get in your spine, you go to an R&B concert, you're going to get the same. I tell people all the time, when Nas and Jay-Z came out on the stage together, I got chills. I remember I went to the Meadowlands, I went to the Jay-Z concert, and when Jay-Z brought Nas out, I was like, oh, this shit is fire. And I got chills, I got the goosebumps. The Holy Spirit didn't get that to me, though. It was just the thrill of seeing Jay-Z and Nas perform at the same time. So when you in the church and you think you getting the Holy Spirit because you get that chill in your body, no. It's just that the singer sings so good. And when they hit that note just did something to you. When that pastor performed, that performance did something to you. Hell, listen, when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer, you ever watch the video? Listen, go on TikTok and Google Captain America pick up Thor's hammer. And see the excitement when Captain America pick up Thor's hammer. You're going to see people go crazy. That ain't the Holy Spirit. It's just the chills that you got because you was excited to see Captain America pick up the hammer. And then Thor say, I always knew it. And Thanos punch him in the damn face. You excited, but you just hyped for it. So the thrill, the feeling, and the thing about it is, that's what the church knows. That's why they require a song. That's why they sing. Even when a loved one dies, when a loved one unalives, they make you sing because they don't want you to mourn. They don't want you to get over it because you know why? If you sing, you're going to stay depressed about the loss of your loved one. Instead of actually mourning, crying, instead of doing those things of your loved one, then you get that. So I hope I answered your question. I got to get to the next person, all right?
Yeah. Cap, I had just one more question, and I know you can answer it quick.
What
I
is it?
want to know why Christians don't understand, or anybody on this world don't understand how the totem pole. I don't even want to say it like that, but I'm just saying like the hierarchy going to heaven and who's going to serve who. Can you explain that to the audience?
Yeah, that's very easy. The hierarchy in the kingdom, the children of Israel, Deuteronomy 28 actually tells you that right off the rip. In Deuteronomy 28:1, it says if we keep all the commandments, we will be above all people on the face of the planet. That is our rightful place. Our rightful place is being above all people on the planet, and then the other people will be the third class. So we will be the first class citizens, they'll be the third class citizens. So when Christ returns, that's what he's going to reestablish. He's going to reestablish putting his people above and putting everybody else under that. All right, I do appreciate. I got to get, brother. You about to ask another question? Come on, you got to stop right there. Come on.
No, I'm just gonna make a comment real quick.
Go ahead.
Didn't the Bible say that?
That's what I'm quoting the Bible.
Yep. And thank you, Cap.
No problem.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right, no problem. All right. But to my other callers, just bear with me. I'm gonna come right to y'all. I just got to go to TikTok. Y'all see the sunlight is shining on the flyer's forehead in existence. Listen, you see that part right there, the forehead? That's the sun beaming right there. Woo! Listen, listen, don't be ashamed of that big forehead, man. Embrace that big forehead. It's attractive. I'm telling you. It doesn't stop the women from coming because you got a big forehead. I'm telling you. Take it from me. They coming out the woodworks. They would jump. Listen, if it was a woman walking by, she'd jump through the sunroof to say, let me look at that forehead. Next person on TikTok is Zal Karai.
Just wanted to get your take on this. I think I know. I just wanted to get clarification.
Okay.
So, do you believe, or should I say, do you teach that white men can't have the Most High's Holy Spirit?
That's a fact.
Okay, and I thought that you were going to respond that way. So I had a question. So here in Acts 10:28, it says, he said to them, you well know how unlawful it is for a Jew to associate with or approach a man of another race, and yet God has shown me that I should call no man defiled or unclean. So what is Peter referring to here?
He's talking to an Israelite.
Got you. Now, when he says he shouldn't call no man unclean of another race, because prior to this, they would consider the Gentiles unclean, right?
They would consider, actually, the reason why he's using that, right? Isn't that because in, I think, verse 11 in the same chapter, right? Is when he sees the unclean animals, right?
Yep.
And then a voice is telling him to go and unalive and eat, right?
Yep.
And so as it's telling him to unalive and eat, Peter said, I've never eaten anything common or unclean. And verse 15 says, what God hath cleansed, call not thou common, right?
Yep.
So to cleanse something would mean that it must have been at one point dirty. We agree, right?
Yep.
So you would have to show me where non-Israelites were ever dirty to require to be cleansed. And then I can show you where Israelites were dirty and required to be cleansed.
Okay,
so can you show me a prophecy where God was going to cleanse non-Israelites?
I would have to, because I don't have that right now in my notes based on what I was going to come up here for. I would have to go back and pull it. But I guess
well, what if I could show you where God specifically said he was going to cleanse non-Israelites? I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Oh, that is, you probably was like, yeah, show me that, brother. Show me that. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Where he was going to cleanse Israelites. So I'm going to read this for you. So this is Ezekiel 37. Now, on your own time, I want you to start at 16. Because when you start at 16, he talks about bringing the two sticks together, the house of Israel, the house of Judah, making them one stick, which is what Yahushua did. Christ did that. So when you read 23, it says,
what chapter and verse?
Ezekiel 37. I'm gonna read 23, but when on your own time, you can start at verse 16. Yep, Yummy, you right. Everybody was about to screen record that, Yummy. You was right about that. So when you read Ezekiel 37 and 23, it says, it's talking about Israel. And I'm gonna start at 22. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. So when God says in Acts 10, what God hath cleansed, call not thou common, he's talking about the Israelites that are in their dwelling places outside of Jerusalem. What Peter is talking about is, that's not even a law. When Peter says how it's an unlawful thing, that's not a Torah law. That's a Pharisee law. Like, you know how the Pharisee had the custom of washing hands before you eat in Mark the 7th chapter? So that's a custom that the Jews had to not come unto one of another nation. But that's not in the law, because you can see Solomon talking to the Queen of Sheba. She was of another nation. She came in his kingdom and he answered all her questions. So that's not a law where you can't be around a non-Israelite. In the Bible, it says if a non-Israelite comes unto you, you got to treat him like one of you. That's in the Bible. What Peter was talking about was the respect of persons that they had against scattered Israelites. Cornelius was an Israelite that lived outside of Jerusalem. He was in the Italian army, and that's who Peter went to. So the cleansing that God did was for Israel. It wasn't for non-Israelites.
So, just so I can write that down, what scripture says that Cornelius, because from my notes, I have Cornelius was a Roman. Where does it show that?
There's not one verse that calls him a Roman.
I thought let me see if I have it right.
In Acts 10 and 1, it says there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. He was in the Italian army, but he was not called a Roman. But now, on the subject of being, I'm sorry, what you gonna say?
I was gonna say, where do you read that he was something else then?
That's what I was gonna get to. On the subject of being called a Roman, you know Paul was a Roman, right?
Okay.
I'm asking you.
No, yeah, Paul was a Roman, yeah.
Was he an Israelite though?
Yep.
So you can be an Israelite in Rome, right?
Correct.
Oh, that's the point. So now, the way that I teach this is that there's no direct verse that calls him an Israelite or a non-Israelite. The only thing that we see is that he was in the Italian military and he's called devout. We don't see no non-Israelite being called devout. We only see Israelites being called devout. Peter is sent to him. God told him, what God hath cleansed, call not thou common. We read that he was only cleansing Israelites. In Acts 10 and 28 that you read, it said he should not have respect of persons, right?
Okay.
But God showed him, don't call any man common or clean. Then when you go to verse 34 and 35, same chapter, I'm going to read those verses. It says, then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted of him. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua Mashiach, he is Lord of all. So who was this letter of peace sent to, or message of peace sent to?
Well, it just told you right there. That was sent to the nation of Israel.
So it wasn't sent. So that's how you know Cornelius is an Israelite. Because if Cornelius was a non-Israelite, that message of peace was not sent to him.
Got you. So I'm agreeing to, because you're really just quoting the Bible. So I'm not going to disagree with anything in the Bible. Now, we will both agree that it doesn't clarify exactly what Cornelius was. But Peter prefaced it by saying, at one point in time, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't enter into the house and go preach to a unclean Gentile, but God is impartial, so now I'm about to do something that we've never done before. Now, based on that.
No, but remember, so when you say that though, you got to remember that's not a law in the Torah.
That was a custom.
That was a custom of the Pharisees.
Got you. And I get that. I get that.
Right. But that and the reason why I'm saying that's important, and that's why Christ, because remember, even the Most High giving Peter this dream really should have been unnecessary, because when you go to the when you go to Matthew 10:5-6, didn't Christ send Peter and the disciples to the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Isn't that what he did? I'm asking you, brother.
Yeah.
Right. And so Peter knew that he was supposed to go to the lost sheep, but Peter suffered the respect of persons. That's what he suffered. So because he suffered that, that's why he went through that.
So I guess you were just making the point that I was going to make when you were like, well, the Most High pretty much gave Peter an unnecessary vision, but that's when I would disagree, because I would say,
hold on one second. Let me block this dude real fast.
What's going on, Papa?
I understand.
Shut your bitch ass up.
I understand.
With your punk ass.
I know. I understand. There you go. So yeah, so now we know. So once we know that Christ sent him to the lost sheep, Peter's at the lost sheep, but he was hesitant. You'll even see that, I think it's in Galatians, when Paul told Peter, you will go to the non-Israelites, but when Jesus Christ, I know how to fix this, y'all.
I like you guys, man.
I know, I don't like you though.
I like black people.
I know. You about to be gone too. Don't worry. You're gonna be gone too. Let me just change my settings so it's not auto accept anymore. I be trying to make it be auto accept because it makes it easier. But then when the guests start doing that, I just have to do it like that.
So this is my, I guess this is my.
And this is gonna be the last exchange, so I can get to I got a phone call. Yeah, there we go. I appreciate it.
In Cornelius's house, there were other people as well. So you're trying to say that everybody that was in Cornelius' house was also of Israelites, but it says that everybody that was in there also received Holy Spirit without being baptized. So the Most High did give Peter this vision for a reason, because this was something foreign to Peter and everybody else that was Peter.
When you say what was foreign to Peter, what was foreign to Peter?
To go out and preach to the Gentiles in the way that they were doing. And when I say Gentiles, I'm not talking about the lost sheep of the lost tribes. I'm talking
I haven't seen a verse that says he's supposed to go to non-Israelites. I haven't seen that yet.
Well, that's what I was. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Because
well, show me.
I don't believe that Cornelius is.
But you haven't presented. But you haven't presented anything to show that he is a non-Israelite, though.
But you haven't either.
I did. First I showed the letter was only to Israel. I showed God only cleansed Israel. You haven't shown anything.
No, but we're talking about Cornelius.
I'm talking about what I read about what God said in regards to Cornelius. What God hath cleansed, call not thou common. That's in regards to Cornelius. You know it's in regards to Cornelius because in verse 28, when he says, I perceive, God has showed me not to call any man common or unclean. That's in regards to Cornelius. So if God only said he was cleansing Israel, you would have to show where he's going to cleanse non-Israelites.
That's right. So why would Peter say, now I know God is not partial, but he says...
When you say now I know, that might be the version that you're reading.
But he's saying, now I know that God is not partial.
Wait. That's why I said it might be the version. When I read the King James, it says, and he said unto them, you know that how is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company of one of another nation. So now I got to hold you to the fire. Show me the law that says that.
Well, I got my alarm thing came on, so you broke up on that question.
Show me the law that says it's unlawful to keep company of one of another nation. Show me that law.
No, and I agree with you that wasn't a law. That was more like a something that they did, like a culture thing.
That's right. So if you didn't keep the Passover, you wasn't circumcised, you was considered a heathen, and they didn't come amongst you. So now we got rid of that. That's not God's law, because God's law doesn't say that. We agree, right?
Correct.
God had showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. I showed who God was going to cleanse, and that's the children of Israel, correct?
Correct.
Can you? So then the onus is on you. If you're going to counter my argument, you got to show me where God said he was going to cleanse non-Israelites. Now, if you can't do that now, we could put a pin in this conversation. If you could find that, and then you could come back to me.
Okay. So what do you do with Acts 10:34 and 35? How does that read in your book?
In 10:34, it says, then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. The word, I read 36 as well, the word which God sent unto the children of Israel. That word was sent to the children of Israel, to the lost sheep of Israel. That's that word that said in every nation, if you work at righteousness, you're accepted. That's only to Israelites. That's not to everybody. Even James 1:1 says to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. So everything you read about in James only applies to the 12 tribes, right?
So why would it say every
Can you answer that question?
That's a good question.
It says every nation though.
No. I said, wait, listen to what, hey, can y'all, listen, y'all, I will drop you. It says mute your mic at the top. I have a real live one mic policy so that we can avoid confusion. He shouldn't have to talk to 3 people. Thank you. So I just wanted you to answer my question real fast. In James 1:1, when it says to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, that means that letter is only to them, right?
Right.
It wouldn't be to nobody else, right?
Correct.
So in Acts 10:34 through 36, when it says in every nation, it's talking about Israelites because Israelites was in every nation.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back and I don't want to hold it up, so I'll go back and I took the notes. So next time you go live, I'll pop up.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go live tomorrow. I'm just not sure what time tomorrow. But definitely.
I'll be on here.
All right, no sweat. Perfect. All right. So to my TikTok audience, just hold on 1 second. On YouTube, it says Jerry Dawson on my phone.
Shalom, King.
Hey, shalom, brother. I ain't a king. I'm just a brother like you.
I know you don't like that. So
yeah.
I said that, man. I was like, I was sitting a text like she was Jerry Dawson. You don't keep doing my government.
Yeah,
but
no sweat.
I got you. So I was up here earlier, man. I was on TikTok chopping up, and I seen Pastor Danny P go live, and he seen me say, "It's a long time no see, JD." And I was like, "Hey, bro."
Caller, hold on.
The Captain Tazaryach, and everybody in the chat talking about, "Are you sad for your captain?" I'm like, I'm not even a part of ISUBK, but that's my brother. You feel me? Right. Anyway, he was like, I done asked everybody to debate me, JD. Captain Tazaryach.
Who's this now? Who's this?
Pastor Danny P.
Pastor Danny P. I don't know him. I don't think I know him.
I know. No, we was on a panel together. You and I. It was an Israelite panel, and Danny P was up there. The pastor dude who was y'all was going back and forth about the laws of a brother as far as the lineage of Christ.
Okay. I probably know him by, like, again, I always tell everybody, I talk to a lot of people, so I could know him.
I know.
But I don't know him like that. Maybe
when you see this brother's face, I know you don't know him like that. I know you don't know him like that. He ain't like that. But on TikTok, he like that. But I know you don't know him like that. That's the first time you even had conversation with him was over the brother, because he was going over how Mary is from David and not Joseph, and he wasn't dealing with the law of a brother, right? He said, so I was like, look, man, if you could talk to Captain Tazaryach, because he said he thought out bishops. I was like, what bishop? Like, you have to be specific on a bishop. You know what I'm saying? Who you're talking about, right? And he didn't say a bishop's name, but he said your name. And he was like, the thing, I said, give me at least 3 topics to give my brother, because Captain Tazaryach, you know what I'm saying? I know we have to go up through the channels, this and the third, but just give me something good for him. You can't just give me one. You feel me? This brother only gave me one, and he wants to know, is he cursed under Christ?
Who? Is Danny an Israelite?
Time. Yeah, Judite pastor. Unrepentant.
Okay, so the curse, when you say cursed under Christ, I would have to understand what he means by that, because, like, when I read Revelations, right, for example, right?
I'm with you.
I know I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I've been in this
So
truth for over 15 years.
Got
That
you.
ain't me.
I'm
just
no, I'm not
saying
talking about you. Yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying I would just have to understand what he means. So in Revelations 22:3 it says, "And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him." So we're not under the curse of the Old Testament. But if you sin willfully after gaining the knowledge of the truth, you will be punished.
There remain no sacrifice.
That's right. So we're still under, we're under grace, but if you break that grace, you will be punished. When it says Christ has the keys of hell and death, judgment still is going to reign on this planet. He don't have to believe me. Look outside. All the Christians are in jail, locked up. And I ain't talking about the Christians that they say is halfway serving the God. I'm talking about the ones that claim that they serving God the right way. Have not. Hey, listen, if Christianity was right, why ain't Christ returned yet? It's a billion Christians.
Because they say that the whole world got to know him with the internet and the TV. First it was the radio, then it was TV, and then it was cable, and now it's TikTok and all this stuff. And then you can create your own network. Everybody knows about Jesus.
Everybody knows
about.
So why ain't Christ here? And why are black people still punished? Why are black people suffering?
Absolutely.
So I would tell him just tell him he should be man enough to call himself. If he want to talk to me, he can call himself.
I was on TikTok. Like he said, can I reach out to you? I said I can do it right now, but I know you was already on the live. So I just hit you on the live. I didn't even know that you was doing the time. I didn't even get the YouTube notification for the videos this morning.
Oh, okay.
But I tell him I did my due diligence.
Yeah.
And,
tell him I'm live. You can tell him I'm live now. He can hop on here now if he got some heart.
Hey, come with the scripture. Gird up your loins like a man.
That's it. That's all he got to do, man. All right?
That's it, King.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, shalom, brother.
Shalom.
All right. I'm going to take one more caller, and then I'm coming back to YouTube. Caller, hold on. Let me see. We got Edward. It says Edward E on my phone.
Yes, good afternoon. How's it going?
It's going all right. You got a question or comment?
Yes, I have two questions. First is regarding, so you say God never wanted to give salvation to no one other than Israelites, correct?
That's correct.
How do we explain the story of Jonah?
What about him?
Well, there was God that sent Jonah to Nineveh.
Who did he send?
That wasn't an Israelite.
It wasn't. Who did he send him to in Nineveh?
He told him to go tell the whole city to go repent.
But who did he send them to in Nineveh?
Okay, I'm not aware of who.
Oh, this is 2 Kings 14:25. It says, "And he restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by his servant, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was at Gathhepher. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel, that it was very bitter, for there was not any shut up, nor any left, nor any helper for Israel." So in Nineveh, he sent them to the Israelites in Nineveh. That's where he sent them.
Okay, so to the Israelites in Nineveh. Okay.
Yep.
No, because I was just reading Jonah. It didn't have that part in Jonah, but that's in 2 Kings. I got
you. So if you read 2 Kings 14:25, it'll help you out. And
I appreciate it. And one more thing. What would the Israelites and the Cushites have in common, whether good or bad?
Nothing.
So I know how you stand on Ethiopians, Egyptians, Cushites, all that.
Ethiopians got a special crazy head. Their head is crazy.
Okay, I understand. So you don't, like I said, you don't see any, whether good or bad, any connection, correct?
Nah, we don't have no connection. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. The only connection we have is a heathenistic one, meaning if we followed after their gods. Like when the Lord says, "Are ye not as unto the Ethiopians to me?" That's in their wickedness. That's why he also says.
That's what I wanted to double check. So you're reading Amos 9 and 7.
Yeah, when it says, yeah, you know what's crazy? People think that means that the Ethiopians got some favor. But when you read the verses above or before, it's talking about their wickedness. And even the very next verse, it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom. It's a sin to be like the Ethiopians.
Yeah, but the next line, that's what I'm saying. I read it, but it's just like the next line, I'm not too sure. I just wanted to know what the connection might have been.
You said what?
No, I wanted to know what the connection might have been between Cushites and Israelites.
Nothing. We shouldn't have no connection with no heathen.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, no sweat. All right. It's just one more caller on actually it's 3 more callers. Hold on. All right, so my callers on hold. Just hold on, because the what do they call them? The hellhounds have been on hold longer. So I'm gonna go to my boy Truth. What's up, Truth?
What's going on, man? No question, man. I'm just up here listening.
All right, no sweat. Perfect. Dre.
Yo, hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, cool. Let's see. So I have a few questions here. Let me see. So regarding the Gentiles, right? So
I didn't bring up the Gentiles. Somebody brought up Cornelius. But if you want to talk, well, if you are you black?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you want to talk about non-Israelites?
Yeah, just
okay. Good. Bust it down. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ashley, funny.
So the Gentiles, they should be getting judged, right?
They will be getting
At the end
judged.
time.
We're getting judged now. They'll be getting judged then.
Under what standard is it? It's not by the law, right?
What you mean?
They're not being, because we're getting judged by.
They're being judged by what
law,
they're being judged by how God said they would be judged. Reward her double as she rewarded thee.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, got another question regarding. Let's see.
That's Revelations 18. That's Revelations 18:6 that I read. You can also read Revelations 13 and 9 and 10 when it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." That's another scripture as well.
No, absolutely. Okay, cool. So as far as the law, your understanding of the law, do you believe we still do the sacrifices?
We don't do the sacrifices. Christ, you said what? What's the last part you said?
If the temple was still here theoretically, and we were.
If the temple was here, Christ would be here. So I won't put that hypothetical. But we don't have a temple to do sacrifices, and Christ is our sacrifice.
Okay. In that sense, right? So I'm going off of Matthew. Let me think. Chapter 5, verse. I believe it's 17 to 21.
Right. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right. It talks about not one dot or tittle.
Yeah, not one jot or one tittle. Right. But the jot or tittle is talking about thou shalt not commit adultery. It's not talking about stone the adulterer. Because it's also in the law that you can have mercy or forgiveness. You don't have to punish him. You can give mercy. So the jot or tittle is what it says as far as thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this. The judgment or the sacrifice, again, there's no temple to actually give that sacrifice.
Okay, that makes sense. So as far as when he says, if you look at a woman with lust, and if you even, if you say racket to your brother, it's considered murder, stuff like that. We
right.
Wouldn't consider that as Torah, but it's more.
It's the spirit. It's the spirit of Torah, because what he's trying to destroy. Remember, at the time that he's coming, imagine going to 2 gang factions and trying to get them to stop according to the law. And all it says is thou shalt love thy neighbor. It says an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Because it says eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, those 2 gang factions believe that they're going to be going to war to the end of time. But does that bring them back together? No, it keeps them apart. So what Christ says, the way it was wrong for him to take your eye, you take his eye, it's going to be just as wrong. So is there another way? Why do we have to say Raka? Why do we have to do this? Why do you have to have that? Can we give way for forgiveness?
Okay.
It's a way of giving you the spirit of the law, just like adultery. When it says, I said, if you looked at a woman with lust in her eyes, people think you can't lust for your woman. If it's your woman, you can absolutely lust for her. But if it's not your woman, you should not lust, because what happens when you lust? That's how adultery happens. So if you can control your lust, you'll never commit adultery. That's different than just reading adultery, because adultery is if you sleep with another man's woman, right?
Absolutely.
Adultery doesn't say if you undress her in your mind. Adultery doesn't say if you fantasize about her in your mind. But now if someone comes to you and teaches you that don't even lust for that woman, and now you fight the lust for that woman, it'll never sizzle in your spirit enough to make you go do it, even though she has another woman, has another man. Right. You understand?
Absolutely. That makes sense.
All right. Is there any other questions?
Yeah. So one other thing, I've been studying a little bit regarding like how the Sabbath works and stuff like that. I've heard a couple arguments for the lunar Sabbath, right? But I want to know your take on
for the who Sabbath?
Like lunar Sabbath.
Yeah, those are Muslims, man. Yeah, they Muslim worshipers, man. I call them. What do I call them? I had a name for the rock, for the moon. Yeah, they worship the moon. They half of Muslims and shit. Salakia.
Right. So what would be your argument again for it being Friday sundown to Saturday sundown? Like how would you?
That's every. Hey, y'all what's up, man? I'm trying to invite you up. Wait, let me see if I can invite you up. Hey, Shalom, Lord. Oh, you up on the stage? Oh, because I want to make you a mod on the joint. Hold on. I would just say the Bible says every 7 days. So for us, we just do every 7 days.
How do we know that Saturday is?
Because when Constantine and them came in, they didn't alter the seventh day. They just changed it to the first day of the week.
Right. Okay, that's valid. Okay,
I'm glad that was valid for you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna take one more on TikTok, then I'm coming to the phone lines. We're gonna go to Jacob. You there, Jacob? Jacob, you there? Going once, going twice. Okay, we're gonna go to the Bull. The Bull, you there?
It's the builder.
It's the who? Oh, the builder. Okay. No sweat. What's going on, brother? Shalom, brother. What's going on? You got a question or comment? To the caller on the phone, you gotta mute your mic, dude. You're getting a lot of reverb on the phone. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your question. You sound go ahead with the builder. I'm saying you was breaking up. You got to start over.
Hold on, I might need to rejoin. It's kind of breaking up. Hold on.
Hey, while we wait for him to come back, I'm gonna go to the phone line. On the phone line, it says Christopher Combs.
Shalom, Cap.
Shalom, what's going on, brother?
I have a comment and question. So the straight gate, the reference people usually make with those wanting to go into the kingdom.
Caller, hold on. Say that
Luke
again.
13, 23, 24.
You said Luke 13. You said Luke 13, 23, and 24.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what about it?
could we consider that the Christian way of thinking, and not actually, well, considering those the Christians, opposed to living, if you're gonna live by the word and the commandments and the statutes, those many that think that they're gonna be in the kingdom that will not.
Yeah, I would say 25, because 24 says, strive to enter the straight gate. I would say that's the Israelites. The Israelites are the ones that are striving to enter at the straight gate. The Christians are 25 down, when it says, when once the master of the house is risen up and shut the door, and ye began to stand without the knock of the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open us, and ye shall answer, I know ye not. They're the ones that are not entering into the straight gate. Christians that say you ain't got to keep the law, you ain't got to do the things of God, that's not entering the straight gate.
All right, I appreciate it, Cap.
Hey, no sweat, brother. All right. One more caller. Look like I get to end this live stream soon. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. To the 119 people on TikTok, I appreciate. Oh, let me see. I had turned my auto accept. It could be my fault that ain't nobody joining. Hold on. Let me change this. Let me change this to auto accept again. Hold on. Oh, to the caller on the line, you're the only person on the line. It said 916-695. What's your question or comment?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. What's going on?
All right, so I got a question to ask you, man. How would you go about rebuking someone who carries the banner and the laws of an Israelite, who
Caller, hold on.
bring contentions instead of the message?
You said, how would I rebuke somebody?
Because I have a lot.
You said, how would you rebuke somebody that say they're an Israelite?
No. So I've had a lot of situations to where there are brothers that are Israelites, okay, that are part of the Israel nation, and so instead of being, following the laws in terms of not being contentious, they come about.
I don't know no law. I don't know no law that say you can't.
Well, okay, I'll tell you like this. Excuse me. Let me just say it like this. They'll be more like, okay, instead of approaching me as a brother, right? They approach my woman and start rebuking her about whatever. That is my job, right?
Okay, why do they have? What I would ask you is, how do they even have access to your woman?
No, she's with me. They don't have access because I set that down really.
Well, how are they rebuking your woman?
No, okay, so in other words, we're out, right? And they see me clear as day, 20/20 vision, right? And they go automatically to her, and I have to shut them down. I said, look, bro, you barking up the wrong tree, because look, you see me here. Man to man, it's like, I hear what you're saying, but that don't stop me from slapping you down, though. You know what I mean? It's like a man has to realize what a man's.
But you want to know how, and so, but what is it?
Out of pocket, and he don't even know what she is.
Right, but what is it that
you know
actually,
what I mean?
Okay, but I'm confused as to what is it that you're actually asking me.
Okay, so in California, right? And I've seen like a lot of I've seen your interview with Tyler that you did, and like with the boot kissing and stuff like that. I think that is no different. And I heard what you said. It's something to the effect of let them be judged in the same way they judged you, or did something to the effect, do the same thing to the.
Caller, hold on.
To Israelite, the true Israelite nation. I get it. Understand that. So I understood the boot licking and all that other stuff and kissing. I understood that, right? But my thing is that when you approach another Israelite, it should be with respect, kindness, and due diligence in trying to approach him in a humble way, not in a way that is contentious, with the spirit of contentiousness, and just negating what you are out there preaching. You know what I mean? It's just like if you have a blind man and he's Israelite.
But brother, what is it that you're asking?
I just asked you a twofold question.
Can you, okay,
How
without,
would you go
without, all,
about?
yeah, how would you go about
Well,
waking up?
So
How would
question
you
number
go?
one.
Right.
Question number one: how would you go about telling a blind man who's Israelite that he's Israelite and showing and proving him without his sight, but with the spirit?
I would do it the same way I would teach a man that could physically see, because both of them are blind. The blindness that we have has nothing to do with the blindness that we have has nothing to do with your vision. In Matthew's the 13th
So you
chapter,
expand with the Bible.
if you could just be quiet while I'm talking. You ask me to answer the question. You don't interrupt while I'm answering.
Contentiousness, Aki. Contentiousness.
Hey,
Go ahead.
you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You ask the question as I'm answering. You still trying to talk. Like, be quiet. Be more. Right. And I listened to you. I made sure I understood your.
And I'm quiet. I'm listening.
Yeah, well, then shut the fuck. Then don't talk again. Thank you. So now, in Matthew's the 13th chapter, I'm not gonna hold up. I'm not gonna hold up. I'm not gonna hold up. Then stop talking. Stop talking.
You know better than that.
Stop talking.
You know better than that.
I'm gonna hang up the phone.
You know better than that.
I'm gonna give you one more shot.
I don't care.
Okay, no sweat.
All right.
All right. It says Rebecca. I know it's a brother, but I keep forgetting your name. It says Rebecca on the phone.
Yeah. I just had a quick.
I don't know what was wrong with that nigga. I go to answer the phone question, he keep cutting off. But go ahead, what's your question, brother?
No, I just had a comment.
Okay.
When he was talking about Cornelius, when you said it was like nowhere in the Bible to prove it, but you know what that word for? I believe y'all broke this down before. That word when it said Acts 10:28, when you look in the blue letter, that another nation is a compound word, and it's I think it's G. I forget.
Caller, hold on.
It's all
you talk about that Lawful or something like that?
Yeah, all descendants of the
12 tribes
of Israel.
Y'all, what's up? You there? This his favorite word right here. Y'all, what's up? Yeah, what's up? The brother want to break down that word Lawfulus.
Alophilosis or something like that. I ain't saying it right.
Yeah, 1 second, Sir Jordan. Just relax. Yeah, what's up? You there?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Everybody on the phone, if y'all could just mute up except the brother I'm talking to. He's asking for a breakdown on that word Alophilos. I know that's one of your favorite words.
Yeah, the word Alophilos in Acts chapter 10 and verse 28 simply means another tribe. That's all it means.
That's all it means.
Simply put.
Well, yeah, but it also says in the New Testament all the persons descending the 12 tribes of Jacob.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. So when people are saying in that verse, it was speaking, it was speaking on Cornelius. So wouldn't that kind of sort of prove that?
Yeah, that actually would prove. And I don't know why I don't use that.
That's what I was saying. I was hoping you get to it. Yeah, but I was like,
Yeah, send me the link send me the link that you have that says that on that word. Because when I look it up in the in my Eastwood app, it's not showing that. So if you could find that link,
it's a compound word. So I think the first one is G246. It says Ophilos. Then it's break down the compound is G243 Alos, which means another. Then it's G5443, which is file, which means tribe. And then it says there's 3 of them. It says tribe. In the New Testament, all persons descending of the patriarch of Jacob, a nation and people.
Oh, okay.
So,
yep. I actually got it. So when I look at the root word etymology, it is the 2 words that you said, G243, which is aloe, and the G5443, which is the follow, wherever they pronounce that crap. And then that, okay, I got it now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I got it. Damn. Let me tell you something. I like these moments, right? Because everybody always say, Cap, don't let nobody show him nothing. And this brother just showed me something I didn't know. Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. So that's kind of like proof when you like ain't nowhere that really shows. I'm like, Cap, y'all did this before, I believe.
I mean, another thing to say is,
wait, 1 second. Hey, 1 second, brother. Say that again, y'all. What's up?
Yeah, another thing is, show me in the law where it says we can't dwell
amongst non-Israelites.
That's what I told. That's what I asked him. He didn't have no answer for that because in the law it says we got to treat a stranger like one of us. So where does it say we can't dwell with him? Like
exactly. But if an Israelite misses the Passover,
Yep.
if an Israelite is uncircumcised, if an Israelite is in idolatry, they get cut off from the nation.
That's it. I tried,
Simple.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Did you have anything else?
That's all I had, Cap.
I appreciate
that's
it.
all I had.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Sir Jordan, you had a question?
Yeah, I just.
You lucky that's your name because I don't want to call you sir. That's it. I'm joking, brother. I'm joking. Bro.
No, I just been watching you for a while, man. I was wondering, like, where do you get your temperament from? Like, I noticed, like,
my dad.
Like, cause I noticed, like, some interviews. Like, one of them was like with the Jewish Matan guy.
Yeah.
He was, and it's like they were saying crazy stuff, and it's like
I get it from my dad. You want me to tell you? Yeah, you want me to tell you? My dad. Want me to tell you what my dad did? My dad, when I was a kid, my dad used to physically and mentally abuse me, like beat me bad, mentally beat me. And we'd be at the table. My dad would tell my brother and sister, say, tell Tyree you don't love him. My dad hung me out a window. My dad said a lot of wild shit to me growing up. So when I'm out there debating people, you really ain't gonna say nothing worse than what I've heard my father say. So it has no effect on me, and I'm a control freak. So if I'm gonna wig out on somebody, it's not gonna be what somebody said that made me do it. It's gonna be because I wanted to. So there's nothing that nobody can say about me. You can't say, you know what would make me wig out, what do make me, is if you talk about my brothers. Because I'm always in defense mode about my brothers, about my sisters, and stuff like that. So I would probably go off if you disrespect one of them, as opposed to if you talk about me. And I wish brothers, and outside of that, men have to learn to be more manly. When we was kids, I don't know about this generation, but when I was growing up, there was a phrase, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. And in this generation, especially with social media, words hurt niggas like they was getting punched in the face. And I just don't live in that world. I live in a world where if you just talking, all you're doing is just talking. You ain't gonna do nothing at all. So that's the other part. Words shouldn't, we got to be bigger than words. But because of words, people get shot, unalive, fight, lose control, and all of that. And the thing about words is if they know that they can trigger you by those words, they'll keep saying those words so that they can trigger you. So I go into debates, like if you take Matan, for example, I knew Matan was a troll. So I know he's going to call me black. I didn't think he would call me the N. Now I'm gonna tell you, if anybody ever calls me the N word in person, you're gonna see all type of furniture moving. I'm just telling you. If it's if a white person was to do that, you might see some furniture moving then, because no white person is gonna think that he can say that and get away with that. That might be the only time where it's like, damn, Cap, I didn't know you was gonna do him like that. That might be the time. But then there's a space for it, depending on if he says it, how he says it, what he trying to do, anything like that. There's a reason for it. So I gauge everything in the spirit. That's how I do it. And to Mr. Green, because he said I've called other people worse. I call people a lot of things, but I'm prepared for what comes with it. I don't call people something. Hey, Shalom, Yada, how you doing? I don't call people things. I don't go into no environment not expecting it to go left field. When I took that picture with all them white boys, y'all was shop. Oh, I had it with me. Just listen, just in case. just in case they thought this was the time we could get Cap. I had it with me. All right.
One last thing.
Hey, hope you get through that book of Samuel, sis. That's a good book too. I'll take one more question and I got to go. I'm about to wrap this live stream up soon too.
I just want to know about the camps close to Columbia.
Columbia, South Carolina?
Yeah.
I'll give you the number. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
864
864
270
270
4033.
4033.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay. Appreciate
All right,
it.
on the phone line, I got Jerry Dawson. You called back. What's up?
Hey, he didn't get up his loins like a man, Cap. He said, I said, Cap said he live right now. You go on the stream. He said, I ain't going over there. I said, why? I said, Cap is good with the decorum. Listen there. He's cool brother. He said, nah, he got wolves over there. I said, wolves? He said, yeah, they just kicked me out. I said, man, Cap ain't go. He didn't just tell me to go on this live.
I didn't, and he didn't come over here and get kicked out either. He ain't been over here. Tell him don't be weak.
No, I'm not believing Ken. I'm just bringing forth his report. You feel me? But he's like, shoot, tell him to come over here. I said, I don't think Cap gonna come over there, but he's afraid to come on your platform.
Lord be with him.
Got wolves over there.
Lord be with him. Tell him Christ was never afraid. You can tell if you go back there, tell him that Captain Tazaryach said Christ was never afraid, ever. He definitely don't have the spirit of Christ.
I don't know about Christ.
And his last little ordeal about before he brought me up. He was talking about it. I'm gonna show you where everything points to Christ. Everything points to Christ. And he put out Revelation 1. And I'm thinking he about to read 1, 2, and then jump to 13, 15. He went to 22 and says, I'm the first, the last, I'm the Alpha and Omega. And then went to every scripture that says I'm the Alpha and Omega. And he said, now who is this? And everybody said Christ. Everything in Revelation where it says I'm Alpha and Omega is not dealing with Christ.
It's not. Yeah, so just tell him to call.
Not every time.
But listen, brother, I don't want to keep talking about no dude that ain't here. If he want to come over here, then fine. But I don't want to hear I don't need a recap. Tell him to man up. Yeah, tell him to man up and come over here. If not, I want to continue with my show. Is that okay with you, brother?
Throw out a king.
I ain't no damn king, man. I'm a servant. All right, brother. Take care. All right, shalom. Hey, last caller, 815-919. What I mean by last caller is after this call, I'm just going to do the people on TikTok. Now, 815-919.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you just fine, brother. What's your question?
I just wanted to get your take on Galatians chapter 4, verse 24. And the verses that accompany the story before and after that verse, where it talks about Abraham and his 2 sons and how that situation was allegedly allegory and it was all supposedly symbolism and that these people didn't exist.
What? Okay, where does it say? Where does it say? Before I read any of the scriptures, where does it say that the people did not exist in Galatians?
Well, it doesn't say that literally word for word. That's just the implication that I get when it says that the story of Abraham is an allegory.
Okay, so what is he saying? What do the 2 sons represent?
It says that the 2 sons represented the covenant.
Right. And okay, now I'll just break it down for you. In Galatians, he's talking about the law. We agree or disagree?
Well, I mean, I can agree with you. Go ahead.
Well, let's read it. Galatians 4:21. Tell me yet the desire to be under the law. Do ye not hear the law? So that's the subject, right?
I'm in agreement.
Thank you. Do you know what it means to be under the law?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means that you following the rules and statutes of the law and Moses.
No. To be under the law is under the punishments under law. To be under grace is to have a time to get yourself together where you're not punished. So like example, are you an Israelite?
I mean, not really.
Okay, no sweat. No, I'll just use myself. So I'm an Israelite, right? So as an Israelite, I'm under grace. I'm not under the law. So when I came into the truth, before I came into the truth, I was an adulterer. I was a drug addict. I was a sinner. I was an idolater. Being under the law, I would have to be stoned or give a sacrifice. That's what it means to be under the law. To be under grace, I'm not getting stoned for those things, but I can't continue to do those things. I have to repent from doing those things. So in Galatians 4:21, when it says, tell me that ye that desire to be under the law, do ye not hear the law? Right after that, it says, for it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by the promise. That's the analogy. The bondwoman is an allegory for being under the law. The free woman is the allegory for being under grace or being under the spirit of the law. I'm going to keep going. It says, which things are allegory. So now he's telling you what he's about to say. The allegory is the bondwoman represents the old covenant. The free woman represents the new covenant. Excuse me, the free son or free woman represents the new covenant. When he says, which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants. The one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth the bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, in answer to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So being under the bondage or being under the free woman, we are free from being under the punishments of the law. But we still answer. But she still answer, or let me read it so you can understand. When it says, for this Agar, Mount Sinai of Arabia, answer to Jerusalem. So we still go by the law, but we're not under the punishment of the law. So as we come into the truth and we find out you can't go to Easter Sunday, you can't celebrate Christmas, you can't be an adulterer, we're now under grace, we can repent. Whereas if we was under the bond of the law, we would have to pay for that. That's what it's talking about. So the allegory is not that the whole Bible is made up. Muslims teach that. 5%ers teach that. The allegory is the woman represents being under the law. The free woman represents being under the new covenant. That's all.
I understand what you just said, but it just doesn't seem like it's...
You don't understand. If you understood it, then you wouldn't be saying what you're saying.
Well, you cut me off. You asked that other brother to not cut you off.
Well, you lied and said you understood it.
Well, there you just cut me off again. So do you just want to talk? Go ahead then.
Nope, I want you to talk. I'm just telling you why I cut you off the first time, but you have the floor to finish.
What I'm saying is that it doesn't really seem applicable, because you said that it only represents one covenant, where it says here that it represents two covenants. And then where does it say the definition that you said as far as being under the law? Where does it say that here? I'm finished.
This is why I said you didn't understand what I said, because you just said I said it was two covenants, and this says one covenant. When the verse says, which things are allegory, these are two covenants. Does it say two covenant or one covenant?
It says two covenants.
But
that's
you just said, yeah, the two covenants. One from Mount Sinai, which gendereth the bondage, is Agar. That's one covenant, right?
Yes.
That's the allegory for the old covenant. Then,
yeah, but you keep saying one covenant, and it says two.
Now, just remember, I don't mind being interrupted, but you just made me be quiet, which I did for you. But you just interrupted me. I don't mind it. I just want to point it out. So again, you said I'm talking about one covenant. I've never talked about one covenant when I broke this down. I talked about both covenants. And I explained, Agar represents the bondwoman being under the old covenant. So if you're under the old covenant, there's stipulations that come with the old covenant. If you're under the new covenant, there's stipulations that come with the new covenant. Now let's keep reading after verse 26. Verse 27, for it is written, rejoice thou barren that bearest not, break forth and cry, that thou travailest not, for the desolate have many more children than she with an husband. Verse 28, now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of the promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, excuse me, that was born after the Spirit, even so it is now. What that's referring to, this is how you know it's not allegory. What that's referring to is when Sarah had her son Isaac, Haggai and Ishmael made fun of Sarah and Isaac. And that's when Sarah said, wait, let's read verse 30. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not the children of the bondwoman, but of the free. So so Paul is breaking down, we're not under the bondage of the old covenant. We're freed from that covenant through the new covenant. That's the breakdown. It's not an allegory, like none of it is real, because he's referencing real things, a real event. Do you understand now?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree that what you're saying dismisses when it says that this is an allegory.
No problem. Then I just got one last question. What's 5 plus 5?
Like I was saying, it doesn't dismiss.
Okay, I'll just answer it for you. It's 10. On the line, we got MFK New Juju.
Bro, why you gotta do that, bro?
It says MFK New Juju. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Bro, you do that every time.
Well, how about you get a real name on there? Then I ain't got to do that.
Just say Juju.
I'm not calling no man Juju.
All right, you right, my bad. You got it, bro. Nigga, I came up here before, like a while ago.
Okay, I don't need the introduction. I just need the question.
I was just telling you that.
I just need the question, brother.
All right, I'm gonna ask. Okay. So right, let's say like you're me, like Israelite, like I just started like reading the Bible, I guess, but I was like raised as a Christian, right? So, and I seen what's his name Yahweh what?
Yahweh Sop.
So he said like if you're not like circumcised, you know, you don't do all that stuff, then you're cut
Wait,
off.
hold on. Shout out to Heaven. She said, congrats on the 59K. I done reached 59,000 subscribers on my YouTube. Shout out to me. Go ahead now. You said Yahweh Sop said, you said Yahweh Sop said the circumcised can't come in or something? What'd you say?
No. He said like, if you're not like, I don't remember everything he said, but I know one of them.
Well, he on the stage. You can ask him. He on the stage.
Well, no, it was when y'all was arguing with the one dude, and he was like, if you're not uncircumcised, if you're not this, if you're not that, then you're cut off from being an Israelite, right?
Yes, you are. You were. Not anymore, but you were in the old covenant.
Okay. So, my question is, like, me as an Israelite, you know, my whole family is, like, Christians, right? So I've been, like, learning about the truth, but what I'm asking is, like, so how would I go about, you know, because I don't associate.
Brother, what's the question, man? Just ask the question.
I'm trying to get to it, because you have to understand everything I'm saying. Okay, so basically, if I'm an Israelite, how do I go about, you know, like, I guess, becoming one? I don't know if
you get in class.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, I just wait, slow down. Don't that's the answer. You learn by getting in class. Do you want to get in class?
Yeah.
Where you live?
Iowa.
I'm gonna give you a number to call. You ready?
Yeah. Wait, no.
That's all. See, all that. All you had to do is just say, "How do I learn?" He did all that soliloquy and all that. The Bible say, "Be a man of few words." Let me get that scripture real fast. Did you just burp on the live? Scoop, was that you just burped on my live?
That wasn't me, Cap. No, it wasn't me, Cap. Don't do me like that, Cap.
Somebody, boy, I was about to kick you off from my damn live stream, man. Where's the brother at? Did he get back? This is Ecclesiasticus 32:8. It said, are you ready for the number?
Yeah, I was off the line, so you couldn't hear me. My bad.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
It's 312 989 4628.
4628.
Yep, just call it.
Hold on. Can you please repeat that? I'm gonna write it down just so I.
Nah, listen. Little kids can't troll me. Get your little kid ass off of my live stream.
All right, say it one more time.
I said it's hold on, let me kick this guy off of my live. Oh, I kicked him off. It's 312 989 4628.
4628.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem, brother.
And this is in.
Just call a number, brother. They're gonna tighten you up, man. Just call a number. Trust me. Trust me. Believe in me. All right. Appreciate it. All right. Next call. Next person is Naya Bar. Am I saying that right?
Naya Bro.
Naya Bro. Naya Bro.
Yeah, there we go. Energy. So you said in one of you speaking to another caller, and you said that Jesus was never afraid.
Yeah, to battle.
Oh, you were specifically speaking about to battle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I know you thought you had something smart to say, didn't you?
I wouldn't say smart.
Yeah, you did. You thought you had one. I'ma finally get the cap. I
just didn't agree with it.
He thought, yeah, y'all was up. He thought he had a cut. I'm talking about battling, man. I ain't talking about. And you would. And listen, if your life was on the line, you'd have quit. You wouldn't have been like Christ. You'd have quit.
Man, shut up. You don't know why.
I do know you'd have quit. You look like the type of nigga that would have quit. Just like, wait, hold up. You say what?
Fucked up teeth, bro. Shut up.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I know it hurt, man. I know it hurt. Don't get all in your feelings, man.
Don't say I wouldn't quit.
You would have quit.
You would have quit.
No, I wouldn't have quit.
Man, yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't have quit. For real. Real talk.
Roman soldiers would have came with them swords. You would have been like, yo. You'd be like,
see, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. But the thing about us, though, we face death all the time, though.
I face death all the time.
How you face it? How you face it?
Because I'm in the military.
What branch of military are you in?
I'm in the U.S. Air Force.
Dang, so you about to go over to Iran? How you feel about that?
No, I was in the military.
Okay, which one is it? Is you in the military? What was you in the military? Which one, man?
In the military.
You said you was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go to the wait. Hold on one second.
You could go to the next caller. That was my only question.
No, wait, hold on, wait. I'm trying to do something. It won't let me do it though. Oh, wait. I think I got it. Let me see if I can. Hold on one second, all right? Just bear with me one second. It's something I have to do before you go. Hold on. Oh, it won't let me do it, man.
Nah, because you're trying to troll. Fuck what you're trying
I'm not trying to troll you, man. I'll tell you what, then I'll go to the next person so you know I'm not trying to troll. Wait. So you know I'm not trying to troll. I'm going to just go. I just said, so you know I'm not trying to troll. I'm going to just go to the next person. Autumn.
Go to the next person because you're trolling them.
What's up? No, I'm not. I'm actually not trying to troll you. But I'm going to the next person. Autumn.
Shalom, Kev. Shalom, Kev. So,
this the white guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what you want?
I've read the Bible, and I found out that we're Japhet, not Esau. We're Japhet.
No, you know what you guys are? You're the people that unalive the people of Japhet.
Hell no. We are Japhet. You and
so I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm asking you a question. In origin, did Japhet have melanin or not?
No, he didn't. Those with melanin were Shem and Ham.
No, see? What I would suggest you do is look up the history of the original Japhites. The original Japhites had melanin. And then you guys came, and just like y'all unalived the Native Indians, Taino Indians, you unalived the original Japhite people and just became the people. That's what you guys did.
Bro, Japhet went to Europe. Like Esau came from Shem because
now,
he was in
Esau definitely came from Shem, but you know Esau is called a cave dweller, right?
Yes.
Right, and what is the white man called today? Is he not called a Caucasian?
Yes.
And aren't you a Caucasian?
I am.
Yeah, you a cave dweller.
No, that don't make no sense.
They do make them what shit. You gotta ask your father. We gotta ask your ancestors why they called you a cave dweller. Don't ask me.
Mine didn't.
But you just said you was you just said you Caucasian. Didn't you just say you was Caucasian?
Yes.
Okay, so if you Caucasian, you a cave dweller. But I'm gonna go to the next person. Autumn. Hey, Bond, you there?
Okay.
This is the last one, y'all. Bond,
Yes,
you there?
sir.
What's going on? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I did have a question. Man, I had tons of questions for you. I've been seeing you pop up on multiple platforms, but for today, I wanted to ask a question in regards to like the new covenant, to see your perspective on that. There's something that the writer of Hebrews quoted from Jeremiah. I think you might be familiar with it, kind of like outlining what the new covenant would be like. And there's this detail in it that, you know, I was raised in a Christian church, and I started asking them questions about this detail that says, and I'll say it's from specifically Hebrews chapter 8, and I'll go directly to it. Verses 11. It says, none of them shall teach his neighbor and none his brother, saying, know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness,
right,
and their sins and their lawless deeds I will remember no more.
Right.
All right, so the detail of saying, like, they don't have to basically teach each other about who God is.
It doesn't say they don't have to teach each other. It says they shall not teach each other. That means and it says they shall not. The beginning part, when it says I will put my law in their inward parts, this ain't the Matrix. The law is not going to get in their inward parts because he's going to magically do it. The law is and the law can be. Hey, y'all, what's up? You still? Oh, he blacked out. The law could be in our inward parts now. I could show you that in the New Testament. Hey, y'all, what's up? Do anybody have to teach you the law?
Yes.
But do they have to teach you anymore? No, I know they taught you. I'm saying, do they have to teach you now?
No.
You see
Because
that?
it was already taught?
Yeah, because it was already taught, because it was already put in their minds. What it's talking about when he's going to put it in their minds, I'm going to read this scripture for you. This is Romans 2 and 14. It says, for when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are law unto themselves. These are Israelites in Rome that are considered Gentiles, which just means nation, but they're keeping the law. Then verse 15 says, which show the works of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness. So even during the New Testament, as it's being written, you can read where Israelites had the law in their mind, in their conscience. Means when you're taught the law, you retain it in your spirit, in your mind, as opposed to just reading the letter of the law when it's convenient for you.
Right, but I guess that's where I'm confused, because
I think you confused that. I think you're confused because you think it's going to be magic where God is just going to zap you. God does not want puppets. God wants people that obey him because he gives it to him. So when we get this new covenant, we put it in our mind. The Lord does it because his spirit aligns with you. Do you know how his spirit will align with you?
Okay, how? Tell me.
By keeping the law. As you begin to keep the Lord will align his spirit with you.
So the spirit alignment is through the law.
Absolutely. That's how you attain. When it says as many as led by the Spirit, these are the sons of God, being led by the Spirit is keeping the law. Because right before Romans 8 that says that, Romans 7 and 14 says the law is spiritual, but I am carnal. Even the New Testament. You say what?
One more. So help me understand one more thing in the same space where it says that the law is not the one, the covenant's not the one that he's made with, the ancestors. This one is different.
The delivery is different. The way he delivered the law before, like when Christ delivered us.
You're saying it's the same.
It is. I said, what is the same?
Well, you're not saying it. It seems as if you're saying it's the same.
No, I'm about to give you a living example. In Matthew, the 5th chapter, when Christ said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I came not to destroy, but fulfill, right? You familiar with that?
Yeah.
As he was breaking down adultery, did he give you the letter of the law or the spirit of the law?
Letter.
No, he did not. He gave you the spirit of the law. He said, it has been said before a time, thou shalt not commit adultery. That's the letter. But I say unto you, whosoever lusteth after a woman in his heart hath committed adultery. That's the spirit of the law.
Right, but what I'm essentially the entirety of what he's saying, if it was somebody who didn't know who he was, they're listening to him give the letter of the law, and he's saying, but I'm giving you this. So
And what
he
he's giving you,
first, and then he
I,
gave his version.
brother, I don't think you're trying to learn it all. When Christ spoke, he read what it said, and then gave you the spirit of what it means to keep, thou shalt not commit adultery. That's what he did. He gave you the spirit of
the intent behind it. Right, he gave more clarity to it.
He gave more spirit to it. That's why Romans 7:14 says, for the law is spiritual, but I am carnal. So when you read it by the letter, even if you go to 2 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, it says the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. So all they knew about the letter of the law is stone adulterers. That's it. But they did not know how to teach a man not to commit adultery. You control that man's lust, you're controlling the spirit of that man. If that man can control his spirit, he will not commit adultery. That's what Christ gave. That's what the New Testament gives. It doesn't take away the law. It enhances how you keep the law. So that's why in Hebrews 8, before you get to 11, it says, I will put my law into their hearts and to their minds. And that's why you can read in Romans, the 2nd chapter, it says their conscience bearing witness, because they had it in their minds in Rome. There's Romans 2:15. I'm going to read again. For the works, for which show the works of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness. It says it right there.
So we can't just solely rely on the law written on our hearts. We have to utilize that in tandem with the written law.
You have to use the law.
Is that the correct way to walk away with what you're saying?
Say it again.
So my question would be, is it safe to say that we as human beings can't rely on the law written on our hearts solely?
No, you do. If the law is written on your hearts, then you have the spirit of the law. If it's not written on your heart, you do not have the spirit of the law.
Right, but you were saying that it's not magical, right?
That's right. It's not magical.
So I'm not saying it's magical either. I'm saying
if you think God's just going to zap you and you're just going to know it automatically, you are making it magical.
Well, I feel like we see that example in kids, right? Sometimes there's a lot of things we don't have to teach kids, but they are morally sound. Some things
I don't know what you're talking about now.
So what I mean by like when we were kids, like when I was a kid, nobody had to teach me to not hurt somebody.
Okay, not hurting. I don't even understand it. But did you ever try to sneak in the cookie jar or sneak something as a kid? And you had to be told don't do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that is in the law. Don't steal, don't covet. Yeah, I know y'all. Kids don't know right from wrong until you teach them. Then they know right from wrong. We're children. That's why we call the children of Israel. We don't know right from wrong until somebody teaches us. And then once we're told, we keep it in our spirit to where I don't need an officer of the court to come and make sure I'm keeping God's commandments. I just keep the commandments.
So then how do we corroborate one more thing, and I'll land here. On this same topic, Paul says something in 2 Corinthians 3 verses.
That's what I was just paraphrasing that, right? 2 Corinthians 3, and you said 16. And I invited, just so y'all know, I invited that guy Danny up. So if Danny comes up, I'll keep the live going. If he doesn't, I'm gonna end it after this. So 2 Corinthians 3:16 says, nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away.
Yeah. Well, actually, verse 15. You can start at 15.
Can I start at verse 13?
Sure.
Thank you. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Christ. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away.
Right. So to me, like, and maybe I'm interpreting this right, it just seems as if the way that what Paul is saying here, and also what the writer of Hebrews is saying all the way up until the end, it seems as if the Old Testament and the Old Covenant and New Covenant can't basically coexist. It's either one or
They
the other.
can't. You're right. The Old Testament and New Testament does not coexist. But the Old Testament and New Testament still contains the law. What you read in Hebrews 8:8, he didn't say he's getting rid of the law. He said he's going to put the law in the inward part. So we're not under the old covenant. Even that veil, what that veil is talking about, you ever heard of dirty cops?
Huh?
You said, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a dirty cop. As long as he's arresting people, do dirty cops get recognized for like valor? They get promoted to captain and chief lieutenant and stuff like that, even though they're a dirty cop, right?
Yeah, they still get recognized.
Because even though they're a dirty cop, because they're arresting people and locking people up, they say it's okay because they're locking people up. That's the Pharisees. The Pharisees and Sadducees that were keeping people under the law, they themselves were just as guilty, which is why the old covenant had to be taken away. So now Christ comes and gives us the spirit of the law. We still got to keep the law. We don't break the law, but we don't have the veil in keeping the law. That's why it says, when unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. We still read Moses, you know. The veil is just not on our heart.
That's the part that I'm really stuck on, genuinely stuck here, because it says exactly what you just said. The same veil remains unlifted in the reading of the Old Testament. What does that mean? Like, if I
because when you read it, when you, I'm gonna tell you what it means. When you
let
read,
let me just land the question and I'll let you have it. So that means if I continue reading the Old Testament, does a veil remain over my heart?
If you keep it with the veil on your heart. So when you read the old covenant, if you think you're supposed to go and stone this adulterer, you still have the veil on your heart, because you're not teaching people how not to commit adultery. You're not teaching them. Remember, the law, the New Testament is about teaching us to put it in our heart, in our mind, so that when I have Yawasop Truth, or Danny P is up here, Crazy, Bond, Narbor, we learn how to not keep, to keep the commandments. So when we walk away from each other, I don't have to monitor Truth, Yawasop, Danny, Crazy, because they're keeping the law because they put it in their heart, which is what we were supposed to do in the Old Testament. I think it's Deuteronomy 30, when it says circumcise the foreskin of your heart. We were supposed to do it back then, but we didn't do it because we're looking at it like, I didn't stick my penis in her, I'm not committing adultery. But undressing her and doing everything else, you're allowing, because you're not understanding the spirit of how to not commit adultery. And when I see the homosexual act, I'm stoning them. But when the New Testament says no effeminate shall enter the kingdom, now we're mindful of even letting a man be effeminate. Now you're stopping adultery, homosexuality before it even starts. So the veil gets taken off through Christ. The veil remains when you read it the old way, but it's still the law that you're keeping. Now, for time's sake, I got to end it here so I can talk to Danny P, because I've been here for a while. Danny P, what you got?
Greetings to you. How are you? Everybody on the panel, thank you for having me up. I just wanted, about that spirit. I was listening to the conversation, and when I see the spirit is not the law. Now, the law is spiritual, but the spirit is not the law. Because if the spirit was the law unalived or killeth, but the spirit does not. So there's a different type of dispensation And
Well, I would say it depends on the context of what we're talking about. If we're talking about the law is spiritual. If you're talking about obeying the Most High, it's more than, well, obeying the Most High would be the law too. But the Holy Spirit coming upon you, you would do more than just keep the law. You would spread the truth. You would teach the gospel. You would defend the gospel. So there's more to it. But in context, when it says the law is spiritual, that's the context of what the conversation me and the brother was having.
Yeah, I was listening to that, but I just look at it. When you read that in verse 7, it says...
You're in Romans?
No, right there in 2 Corinthians
okay,
3,
gotcha.
verse 7, where it says, but that written and engraven in stone was the ministration of unalivement.
Right, but I agree with that.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that if we are to walk after that letter, because you, according to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2, it says that you cannot add to it nor take away from it. So
right.
The letter cannot change. So whatever people want to walk after the letter, then you will always be found with fault. But what the Spirit does, the Spirit works through you. And what he does is, in the end, as Jude 24 says, now unto him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless. That's what the Holy Spirit wants to do. He wants to present us faultless. But nothing else.
And how would we be presented faultless? Wouldn't it be by keeping the law?
By walking after his Spirit. You walk after
if you walk after the Spirit, don't you keep the law?
No, sir. No.
So you're saying, wait, just so I can understand. So you're saying you can break the commandments and still...
Now, see, you're not under the commandments when you're under the Spirit. That's the difference.
So how do we maintain... So if the law is spiritual and the New Testament said he's going to give us the law, how do we live lawfully under God?
You walk out after the Spirit.
But give that to me in real time. What laws do we keep?
This is the difference is when Israel was given their covenant, it was given as a nation. All that the Lord has said.
But brother, that's not what I'm asking. I just want to kind of state.
I'm trying to get to it. I'm really trying to get to it.
Okay.
I'm really trying to get to it. See, it was given as a nation, but see, that did not work. They were given the letter, and it had to be perfection. That's what the law demanded. But the Spirit is individual.
But doesn't Christ command the same thing, perfection?
He is the perfection.
No. Christ said, be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. So he's requiring us to be perfect too. So what I'm asking you, so can we commit idolatry?
No. The morals of God and the spiritual principles always exist.
But where do we get that from? Do we not read the idolatry, the adultery, the homosexuality? We read that from the Old Testament, do we not?
We do, but it's not according to the law.
So what is it according to?
Watch this. The morals of God, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't have the law.
That's not. I don't know if we talk, brother. I don't know if we talking past each other, and I want to make sure we kind of on the same page. So I'm gonna read this. This is Romans 13 and 9. It says, for this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not unalive, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. That aren't these all from Moses?
That's from Moses. But what I'm trying to say is Cain and Abel didn't have Moses.
We're not talking about Cain and Abel. We're talking about in this New Testament, in the Spirit, which you chose to have this conversation. So in the New Testament, Paul is saying to keep these laws that Moses gave, correct?
No.
I'm gonna read it again. Can I just read it again, please?
Let me give you my understanding of it.
Wait. Can I just read it again, and then you can.
Start at verse 8.
Yeah. No. I'll start at verse 8.
Start at verse 8.
No problem. Owe no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
There it is.
For this, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not unalive, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. If there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So isn't everything that he's saying predicated on the laws that Moses gave?
No, what he said is, oh, no man nothing. Let me finish talking, y'all. No man nothing but love. Because this is the commandment that they received from Christ.
But what is love, brother? When you
Here we go. I'm trying to. Love is what this is why I'm trying to answer your first question.
Gotcha.
So what he's doing is he's saying for this reason, he said, oh, no man, nothing but love. For this reason, this is why you don't do that. So we are not taking away the morals of God. We're looking at how to treat one another, to love one another. Because Christ said, John 13:34, he said,
Hey, Dean, if you could be quiet, please, I appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, Danny.
So he said in John chapter 13, verse 34, he said, love one another as I have loved you. This is what John and all of them received from Christ. That's the commandment from Christ. What we're trying to do is go back to Moses. No, when Moses pointed to Christ, not the other way around. So we have to.
But I think, what I think what you're doing though is you're doing all that talking, but you're getting away from. They have to keep the laws that Moses gave, and so when it says love and you're fulfilling the whole law, that love that you said you got to have for your brother, which I agree with, having that love with that brother makes you keep the laws that Moses gave. Even Christ said, love the Lord thy God with all thy might and soul and strength. Love thy brother as thyself. On these hang all the law. Even he's talking about the laws that Moses gave. So you can't now come and say that you're not keeping the law, but you are keeping the law if you love your brother. I kind of get what you're saying. The only part that we're not shaking hands on is you think that it's dismissing the laws that Moses gave when it is not.
Well, I'm talking about it dismisses that covenant.
Well, just so we could be clear, I do not believe that we're under the old covenant. I believe that we're under the new covenant of Christ. The conversation that we're having is that you still have to keep the laws.
Christ did that. He fulfilled. See, Christ came as Israel. He walked that covenant for Israel and ended that covenant.
But we do have to keep the laws, though. That what I'm trying to get us to see if we shake hands. In Hebrews 8, it says, I will put my laws in their inward parts. So it's not getting rid of the law in the New Testament. We still have to keep the law.
I'm not saying get rid of law. I'm just talking about that covenant of law.
Okay, but I just said, so maybe we can go to a different subject, because I'm not talking about the old covenant at all. But I'm saying, just like you couldn't be one of the community under the old covenant, you can't be a part of the community under the new covenant. Just like you couldn't eat certain foods under the old covenant, you can't eat those same foods under the new covenant. You couldn't.
Where do you get that food thing from? I think that's where they have a problem with Paul.
Because Christ said, whosoever break the least commandment and teach men so.
Well, Paul is in trouble, because in 1 Corinthians 10, 25 through 30, he's not saying what you're saying.
What does he say in 1 Corinthians 10, 25 and 30?
Come on, bro. It does. Watch this. Because he says, he's in Corinth. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that's the meat market. I had to study and see what was in the meat market. In Corinth, he said, whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, bearing no conscience.
Is the subject that he's talking about unclean foods or idolatry?
Yes, sir. It's talking about.
No. Wait, can I ask the question again, because you started talking before I actually
get through with it. But
wait. No. Well, you actually read the scripture. I let you read the scripture.
No, you cut me
off.
Well,
let me just ask this question and then you can continue. Is the subject unclean foods or is the subject idolatry?
The subject can be idolatry, but the premises is this here is what's sold in the shambles that eat without conscious sake.
So, but what you're doing now is you're putting something. What you're doing now is putting something in the text that's not there, and this is why I say it. Paul just said you have to keep the law. Paul never said to break the law. So if Paul is dealing with idolatry and he says whatsoever is sold in the shambles, he's still talking about idolatry. You can't add pork in there. You can't add catfish in there. You can't add shrimp in there. You can only make it about the subject that he's talking about.
The subject that he's talking about, he says, whoever is sold in the shambles that eat.
This and listen, when verse 23 says, when he says all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient, he's talking about the law.
Listen, but
so you're saying, so are you saying he taught to break the law at the same time he said to keep the law?
I'm saying to you, I'm trying to say to you what I need to say to you, but you trying to cut me off before I say it. It says this: whatsoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience sake.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Somebody got their mic. I don't know. Oh, let me just move this brother down. No, I did it. Go ahead.
Okay. It says, whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that's the meat market, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
So what? And so when I look up shambles, it says a place where meat.
Listen, if any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and you be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake.
Right.
Now, the reason why he said ask no question for conscience sake, because right here it said you don't know if it's sold to an offered to an idol or not. That's your conscience. But why say why? But if any man say, one more verse. Listen. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols,
right?
Eat not.
Right.
See, so he's not saying that. Now, if you know he's sacrificed to an idol. So what I did was I read and researched the food that was sold in the shambles in Corinth. And you had lamb, you had venison, pigs, you had all of this was in the shambles. And that's why I say Paul is saying without conscience sake, he even backs it up. When you get to 1 Timothy chapter 4, he sit up there and tell you, he said nothing of God is unclean.
So
and nothing to be refused.
Right.
That's what he said.
Right.
Nothing.
And did he also say, wait. So now you said that. And again, when you're talking to people that know the law, the subject is idolatry, which you already admitted. So when he says whatsoever, just like in what you just read in 1 Timothy, that's 4, right? Am I correct? That's chapter 4? Yeah. So when it says for every creature of God, that's verse 4, right?
It's good.
Right. Thank you.
Nothing to be refused.
Right. I just want to keep reading. So in 1 Timothy 4, that subject is not unclean food either. Just like 1 Corinthians 10 is about idolatry. And I want everybody to pay attention because this is what Christians do. They impart their understanding. But I'm glad that you went to 1 Timothy 4 because there's something said in 1 Timothy 4 that Christians overlook. And it's going to help you with 1 Corinthians 10. In 1 Timothy 4, it says, I'm going to start at 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrine of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats, which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. What is the truth of the meats that God gave? What is the truth?
The truth is this here, that Christ has set you free from that, from the law.
No, you got to show what God said. Again, it doesn't say what. See, wait. Thank you. So when it says the truth is in Leviticus the 11th chapter. In Leviticus the 11th chapter, it says Leviticus 11:46. This is the law of beasts and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. So when he mentions meats in 1 Timothy 4, he's not talking about swine because that's not meat. He's not talking about catfish because that's not the fish that you can eat. He's talking about them that know the truth of the meats that God, because the subject here, again, is not unclean foods. The subject here is somebody stopping you from eating meat, period. That's the seduction. We agree, right?
No, sir.
Wait. So I just want to get you on record. Wait, I just want to get you on record. You are on record saying that 1 Timothy 4 is not about someone bringing a doctrine of not eating meat.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about.
So, but that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, is that the subject in 1 Timothy 4?
Yes, telling you not to eat certain meats. Okay?
No, not certain. Don't do that. It don't say certain. It don't say.
What you doing? You trying to make
No,
it certain meats.
no. It don't. The verse don't say certain meats. The verse said no. It don't. The verse.
But you're saying that.
What I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying God gave us the law of meats that we can eat and meats that we cannot eat. Correct?
Not under the law.
Wait, I'm asking you a simple question. Did God give us the law of meats we can eat and meats we cannot eat? Yes or no?
To Israel, yes.
So why you can't just can you just answer yes or no?
I did answer. I said yes to Israel.
So if God gave us the law of the meats we can eat and cannot eat, then when it says to abstain from meats, the only meats it can be talking about is the ones that God gave. That's why Paul says of them which believe and know the truth. And then he says, for every creature of God is good and nothing to be refused. The same man that said we have to keep the law noted the creatures of God are the clean meats. Because long before Moses came, weren't there clean and unclean food?
Noah was told to eat everything.
I'm asking a question. Long before Moses came, was there not clean and unclean meat?
Yes.
So you cannot say that this law came because of Moses, because this law.
Captain, now you got to do this right.
I am doing it right. Just don't interrupt me. Just don't interrupt. Just don't. Wait. Slow down. Danny. You don't like to be interrupted. I'm just trying to finish my statement. So you can't say that Moses brought the clean and unclean because Noah had the clean and unclean before Moses was even born. So when it says God, for every creature of God is good, God established the creatures that can be eaten and uneaten during the time of Adam.
The time of Adam, Adam didn't eat meat.
That's a lie.
No, he didn't. He was still given the herbs.
That's a lie.
Read it.
You can't. The whole reason you have a clean and unclean animal is so one animal can be eaten, the other animal cannot be eaten. And Noah, how many animals Noah took in the ark? How many pairs did he take in the ark?
But read number 3. Read Genesis 9 and 3.
Before I read it, I'm going to read it. But how many pairs of animals did he take into the ark?
Some on 7 by 7 or whatever. I don't know.
No. Why you say whatever though? Why you say whatever?
Whatever.
No, that's important because you saying whatever. But before I read Genesis 9 and 3, so we can not confuse our audience, it's not whatever. In Genesis 7 and 2, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2. So the animals that you can eat are by sevens. The animals you cannot eat are by 2. So long before Moses, we can eat them. Then Genesis 9 and 3, I'm going to read verse 3 and 4, all right? This Genesis 9, 3 and 4. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, blood thereof shall ye not eat. Now, I won't respond first because I've been talking. I'll let you respond on the verses first.
He said, every moving thing that liveth, eat, even the green. I've given you all things. Now we understand the difference between clean and unclean because of Noah putting them on the boat. Some produce faster than the others. We understand that. But you cannot tell me that you can take Genesis 9 and 3, take that verse and place it into Deuteronomy or Leviticus. You cannot take that verse. You don't see a separation of what to eat and what not to eat. That came through Moses. You're trying to put the covenant that Israel had on Noah. And the Bible is against that because in Deuteronomy 5, verse 2 and 3, it says, the Lord our God made a covenant with us at Horeb. The Lord our God made not this covenant with our fathers. That covenant that Israel had. Hold on, bro. That
I didn't
covenant
say
Israel
nothing. I'm
had
letting
is
you
not the
go.
same.
I didn't say nothing. I'm letting you go.
I'm just saying that covenant that Israel had is not the same covenant that the rest of the people had. They were different from the world. Now, when you get, I'm not saying that we just go eat anything, but when a person tells me that I can't eat something and it's due to the law given in covenant at Mount Sinai, now you want a person that believes in Christ to be under the law given in covenant at Mount Sinai when I did not make that covenant. You're trying to make that covenant our law, and that does not work. It cannot work because it was the letter. You cannot take part of the law and do part of it and then think that, hey, that's all right with Christ. Either you have to tell everybody to do all of it or they walk after the Spirit. And if the Spirit does not convict me, I'm not worried about a law that convicts you.
All right, so I'm going to go now. Just before I go, the people that I moved them down because I was ending the live until Danny came.
Sir.
So Danny is the last person that I'm bringing up. So to the delineation brother that asked why, I moved everybody down except Truth, Yawasop, and ISUBK because they don't come off mic while we're talking. So when you read Genesis 9, first of all, this law of clean and unclean was given before Mount Sinai. So he's lying when he say this law was given at Mount Sinai because we're reading. I didn't interrupt you the whole time, brother. Brother, you said you're not holding to a law that was given at Mount Sinai. So when somebody tells you I can't eat something that was given to them at Mount Sinai under the old covenant, my spirit is not vexed by that. That's what you said. So I'm repeating, brother. You just said that.
That's not what I first said, though. I said take Genesis 9 and 3.
I'm going to address Genesis 9 and 3, but you can't. You asked not to be interrupted, and I did not until you was done. So I'm afforded the same courtesy, and I'll let you go off till you was done. So you got to do the same thing. I can answer in the order that I see fit. Don't get mad because it hurt. So again, as I was saying, this man said he's not under the law of Mount Sinai, but the law of clean and unclean animals existed before Mount Sinai. Listen, don't interrupt again. I gave you the respect of the floor as a man. You got to do the same thing too. If you want to talk while I'm talking, just mute your mic so we don't hear you. But one thing you won't be able to say is that I interrupted you because I did not. So again, this man lied on the Bible when he said that that law was given only at Mount Sinai, because in Genesis, the 7th chapter, Noah was given the law of clean. Noah knew about the law. You know how you know he knew about the law? Because God didn't give him what the clean animals and unclean animals were. He told him to gather them that way. That means they already had an understanding of clean and unclean animals. In Genesis 9, 3, and 4, when it says every moving thing, it's not talking about eating anything. The subject, again, is not about clean and unclean foods. The subject is about not eating meat not eating meat with blood. That's why the very next verse says, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, ye shall not eat. That's the subject. The subject is not about, he don't have to tell. Every time you see meats being eaten, it don't have to keep saying clean meat, unclean meat, because it's already understood what's clean and unclean, because the people that are writing keep the law. Paul kept the law. Noah kept the law. Christ kept the law. So it doesn't have to say clean meats, unclean meats. That's why back to 1 Timothy 4, it says, believe and know the truth. So the every creature in Timothy can only be talking about the clean animals, because he says every creature of God. And God established what was clean to him during the time of Noah. I'm going to give us one more exchange, Danny, and I do have to go after that. But Danny, if you want, you can unmute now, Danny. If you want, I am going to give you a follow. If you want to have a longer conversation, maybe you can message me back. Maybe you can message me back, and then we can get a subject, and it'll just be you and I, whether it be on TikTok or YouTube. But you kind of came when I was going to end the live stream. But I will give us no problem. I'm going to give you no problem. So and would you say that this was fair or unfair?
Well, it's fair, but then one of the statements you made saying that that the law was already there. That's
I'm
not
not
what the
talking about your
Bible says.
disagreement. No. When I'm saying fair, I'm not talking about your disagreement with me. I'm talking about fair in the time that I've afforded you to speak and I speak.
Yes, sir. I'll appreciate that.
No problem. I just want that on the record because I was told that you said I wouldn't let you speak and that you would get bullied. So I just wanted on record that you was treated fair. So for Danny's audience, he said he was treated fair. And what I also want to add, when men are talking, which he did to me and I did to him, we're going to at points interrupt each other. That doesn't make it unfair. But when he asks to finish and I allow him to finish, that does make it fair. And if I do the same to him and he does it to me, that does make it fair. So I'll allow you one more response. I'm going to respond, and then that'll be the end of it.
Appreciate you. All I'm saying is this here, that we cannot take the law given at Mount Sinai and apply it to the rest of the world because it was given in covenant. Everything that is in the law that was given through Moses to the children of Israel was given in covenant. And we cannot place everybody in that covenant. Now, we can understand what may be unclean. What was unclean to Israel was not unclean to the rest of the world. Because I read Deuteronomy 14, verse 21, where it says, thou shalt not eat anything that dies of itself. You could give it to the alien or the stranger, sell it to them, that they may eat it. So in other words, those things that were unclean to Israel was not unclean to the rest of the world. Now we understand. Now we have to understand that. So, because God did not make the covenant with the rest of the world, and that nation that he built is not under that same covenant anymore. We're under the new covenant, where we can see that when Paul says, if any man eats and is not of faith, it is sin. This is what I'm trying to say. So I'm saying I'm not supposed to eat anything, brother, that's going to make you stumble. I'm not going to, like if you came over to my house, which you're welcome, you came over to my house, and I know you don't eat pork. All I'm going to tell you is, look at me, what you eat? Okay, this and that, you eat that. Look at, just don't look at my refrigerator. Just don't look off in there. Don't look in there. See, that's all I'm saying. I'm not going to do anything to make you stumble, but you can't place me under that under that covenant. So I'm just saying that I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to make anybody stumble. But when it comes down to covenant, hey, man, I'm not under that first covenant. I'm not finna do you got to do all of that. So I just walk in Christ under the Spirit, and if the Spirit convicts me, then, brother, then I do what the Spirit says do. So I land my plane right there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And after I respond, then I'm going to end the live. But like I said, I followed you. You can message me. Maybe we could work out a subject or something like that. But what I do want to say, the children of Israel could not sell unclean food to anybody. That the laws that we keep apply to everybody. The animal that dieth of itself can never be a pig because we can't eat pigs. So it would never be in a merchant's store to be sold. We would never have pig for sale for an non-Israelite to eat because we can't sell pig. We can't sell any unclean animal. So the animal that dieth of itself would have to be a lawful animal. But when Christians want to fight to eat unclean food, they'll make that animal that died of itself pork, when it doesn't say that. And I want everybody to pay attention when we go back and look at this conversation, because I might make a clip of this conversation. You'll see, once we establish the subject, my opponent, Danny, chose to change the context of the subject. 1 Corinthians 10, he changed it from idolatry to unclean animals. 1 Timothy 4, he changed it from forbidding to eat to unclean animals. Then he went to Genesis 9 and made Genesis 9 be about eating any animal when the subject was about eating animals with blood. But he had to admit that unclean animals existed before Mount Sinai, before Moses came. So the Christian can't tell you that Moses bought clean and unclean animals, because Noah had the knowledge of clean and unclean animals. Danny, I appreciate your time. I'm now about to roll out. I appreciate everybody rocking with me, man. I'll probably be live tomorrow. I'm just not sure what time because I'm going to be on the road. I'm going to try to do it around this same time. And again, Danny, just follow me back, hit me up, and then we can correspond behind the scenes. So until next time, Yahweh Shema Shabakathum, Yahweh Shema Thum Bashim Yahweh. All right.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Listen, man, that man kept me on that live stream long. I did 174 minutes, man. I have never done a live stream this long. Jesus Christ. And I'm still going to be kind and do the super chats. I'm not going to run from the super chat. I couldn't even get into the subject that I wanted to talk about. Gee, Monetti. So let me go. Damn it. Who says I don't love the people? Who say I don't love the people? I love the people. Y'all did a good job on them likes. 500 likes? Okay. Y'all did a good job. Y'all did a good job with them likes. Appreciate that. Let me come over here to the super chat. Fan funding. What up, Cap? Shout out to Jimmy Johnson, man. Always give a $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Pork Chop Pastor Buggin. Shout out to XYZ. Shout out to Eric with the $49.99 super chat. Shout out to Mike Love, $5 super chat. Didn't Christ say he's the mediator for them that was under the first covenant, so no one else can say Christ came for them? Good point. Nah, ain't no other 50% off. Good job, Heaven. Listen, I want to shout out Heaven too, man. Heaven is a good sister. I appreciate her insight and the way that she goes crazy in the chat. Keep everybody involved. Also, Bezos, another sister, does an excellent job getting everybody involved. My other moderators, also I want to highlight Siri. She's always active. Robert Bryant, Maria. Let me see who else. UPK Makwalat, active always. Let me see. I'm trying to go through. Michael Love. I better say Michael Love because if I don't say his name, y'all know Mike Love. If you don't say Mike name, he gonna call. He'll super chat disrespect. That's how bad Mike Love is. He super chat disrespect. XYZ is always in the building. If I miss somebody, I apologize. Bakar, even crazy ass Mika. I don't know what Mika be doing in the chat. Y'all may not know Mika is a certified troll. Please don't take nothing she do or say serious. I don't either. Shalaya Allah. Shout out to Shalaya Allah. So until next time, Shalom Israel.